just don't want to pay more for a plate is going to be the same on both
an
sides.
example like a personalized, the percentages are about the same of Alabama and Auburn fans that have personalized tags.
A lot closer in Shelby County. Actually, more Auburn tags in Shelby County than in Jefferson
surprising
County.
To me.
There's only about 1,000 difference. It's about 7,500 Alabama and Shelby, and 6,700.
So that means your two biggest counties in the state of Alabama, two most populous counties, I believe, are Jefferson and Shelby. It's almost a tie. I mean, it's within a couple thousand of being a tie. That's pretty interesting. 58-42, I think, is a pretty good representation, in my opinion.
Huntsville.
You're going to have to go Madison County there.
Madison County.
Yeah, Madison County.
Brooks, I'm so disappointed you didn't know that was Madison County.
Y'all remember?
I know they're 47 on the license plate.
That's
number.
right.
I know that.
That's right.
Yeah. I didn't know it was Madison County either. I've lived here my whole life.
You didn't know Huntsville was Madison County?
Yeah. I knew there was Madison County somewhere.
That was one of the funniest takeaways from our triple box in the Auburn game, which got brought up to me again Sunday, by the way. The Auburn triple box game.
Pretty close there, too.
On TV was when Lance asked about the rocket that was neither in Madison County or something. We were talking to the Madison County guy.
Hey, man, we had to kill time.
I know we did.
Josh just writes in 90% of his Alabama friends' kids go to Auburn.
It's closer than it's ever been because of that. All right, what's Madison?
7,300 for UA, and it was 5,800 for Auburn. Did want to point out, too, there was actually one county that had the most tags for a school that was not Alabama or Auburn, and that was Pike County, where
Troy.
Troy.
Oh, how about that? Look at the Trojans.
Hey, how about me getting Troy in Pike County?
Pike County.
But Pike County Road, not in Pike County.
Yeah, Pike Road is just outside of Montgomery, right?
Not
in Pike
Montgomery and Auburn. All right, that's our show today. We're back with you tomorrow. Back with you on Monday, 9 a.m. Central Time. Don't forget, a new Bama and Bourbon is out. It's been out less than 24 hours. You can go hear Aaron Suttles and Lance talk everything Alabama athletics. A new Last Call is out for you. You can go get that from Mick and Jake. Right now, Tyler is showing you TNR clips where you can get a lot of fun graphics over there. Sorsby's lawsuit shocker. You should have just AI'd him holding up 3 fingers. Auburn's defense vanished. Who wins next? All those type of clips are up there. It's part of our YouTube family, separate site, but you can go to our YouTube channel and find a link there. Like and subscribe over there. That'll help Tyler out. And a new, are you ready to unveil the name? First ever next week.
Roll with it, Tyler. Tyler came up with it. I think it's great.
All right, so I was going through a couple of different names, and I thought, let's go with The Next Reel.
The Next
I
Reel.
love it. REEL. I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
Almost writes itself, man. Yeah. That circular logo.
Yep.
That Rockstar's wife came up with it works everywhere, doesn't it?
That will be.
Y'all got your money's worth out of
We
that.
did, yes, very much so.
A new show on Monday. We have no idea what it's going to look like, sound like, and what it's going to be about.
But I trust you too.
There.
I trust you too.
Yep, I'll work on the sort of rundown this weekend.
All right.
I bet it involves you going to a movie this weekend.
I bet it does.
Tyler just got a tax write-off all his movie tickets.
Yeah. All right, until next time, God bless you. God bless America.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
I think Ty Simpson was good as far as I can tell, but I'm no NFL scout. We'll tell you what the scouts said about the combine, winners and losers from there. I'll go through some teams from the SEC and let these guys tell me when they get knocked out of the NCAA tournament. Ron Slay is on the show. We'll take a sleigh ride coming up to start hour number 2. Dealer's choice. You want to start with the bad or the good this weekend in Auburn or Alabama? Auburn bad, Alabama good. You want to start negative or positive?
I'd go Alabama.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go Alabama.
What a weird game.
Alabama only leads the last few seconds of the game. An exact reversal of what happened in Knoxville last year, where Alabama outplayed Tennessee the whole game in a buzzer beater, and the Tennessee Vols win it. And afterwards, cut number 1, Tyler, here's Nate Oates. And being very honest, I don't know if we really deserve to win this one. Here's Nate.
So after the game, obviously the game was similar the other way last year with an unbelievable comeback by them. And his comment to me as soon as he shook my hand was, man, after the way that game went last year, you guys deserve this win. So, it's great that we got the win. I'm not sure we necessarily deserved it, but we did fight hard. I think the MVP of the game is Aiden Sherrill. Like, we can't win the game without him inside. And we got destroyed on the glass, and that's what this team does. I mean, they got 25 old boards, and we only had 21 defensive boards. So when they're getting more of their misses than we're getting, makes it extremely hard to win the game. But we're able to do enough there late to get the win, and really just praise the grit and attitude of our players tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you start. All the metrics say they lose that game. And just watching it, I think I gave up. I mean, I almost turned it off at one point in the first half when it was just every offensive rebound. I think 23 offensive rebounds in the first half for Tennessee, and then Alabama limited that to 2 in the second half. It was frustrating to watch as an Alabama fan. And then that team didn't give up, and that may be the superpower of this team.
Well, look, first of all, Tennessee's a disgusting brand of basketball to watch. And when they're up 13 in the second half with roughly 12 minutes to go, it seems like there is no way Alabama's going to be able to win that game.
Because 13, the way they play, is more like 20.
Yeah, that's the way it seems.
Yeah.
And, 37-20, they lose the battle on the glass. Back to Aiden Sherrill. I mean, you don't need his points. We talked about this last week, that he is the most important player on this roster. But he was 1 of 6, but the 8 boards, the 4 blocks, the presence in the post, as Nate said, was the difference there. Amari Allen, we talked about last week that probably the second most important player on this roster, had his worst game of the season.
Oh, it was frustrating to watch because we just praised him, and he was missing shots and not really good with the basketball. But back to Sherrill, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but Tennessee missed so many what are termed layups, shots right at they're not traditional layups like a layup line. But shots,
including the final 3 shots in the final seconds.
But shots at the bucket, and Sherrill part of that, but I think there was something like 12 of 23. It's basically the same numbers that Andy Kennedy called out UAB for missing. Tennessee was that at the bucket, and Sherrill was part of that. He's disruptive, doesn't always get a block, but just challenging that at the rim. Again, I'll go back to this team did not give up, and they got a big win, and now they're in a really great place to be a double bye for the SEC tournament. I don't see them being anything but a 4 or a 5 in the NCAA tournament.
Up to 3 in some projections right now.
Up to 3, okay. Yeah. 3 would be fine, but 4 and 5, that doesn't really change your path to a Final Four. Then you eventually play the number 1 seed anyway, but they're not going to drop any lower than that. Alabama's in a good place.
Oh, hey, this is why coaches like Nate Oates make the money they make. I got to give him a lot of credit. I never saw this team at one point being 12-4 in conference and in sole possession of second place in the SEC. I don't know about you guys, but the role they've been on, and, I kind of, discounted it a little bit when you looked at it until they beat Arkansas, but the road win against Tennessee down double digits second half. To me, that was the most impressive win they've had during this streak, and where they are to where they were is pretty amazing right now. And I do think that now the expectation has got to be getting to the second weekend. Would you guys not agree?
The second weekend,
yeah. I've said I think this could be an Elite Eight team, and they certainly look like it in the second half. There's a lot in this game. Number one, Tennessee has owned Alabama. So when you're down 12 at the half, and as Lance mentioned, ballooned as high as 13 in the second half, it would have been easy to say, this team just owns us. I don't know why. I don't know why they screw us up so much, but they screw us up. Even in the win, that's a low-scoring game for Alabama, 71 points, right? Even in the win, Alabama doesn't score as much as they normally do.
And during that point, Brown, there was 13 points. I'm looking at who's on the court, and at one point, it was there was no Philon and no Holloway out on the floor, and I'm like, where are you trying to? I think Noah Williamson was out there. I think Amari Allen was out there. Reitzel was out there. There were 5 guys, and I was like, Taylor Bowen was out there. I was like, is he starting to pack it in right here? Is he resting Philon and Holloway now?
Nate resting starters?
Yeah.
Because so you're down 12 at the half, and you come back, and I think they cut it as low as 4 right out of the locker room. Alabama goes on a little spurt. They cut it to 4, and you're like, okay, all right. But then, boom, right back to 13, and I'm like you, and I don't know if you were the same way, Lance. I'm like, oh, this one's over.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Alabama, they're owned by Tennessee. Tennessee is their dad, and I don't know why, but it's going to be 6 straight. They showed a tremendous amount of mental fortitude to fight the way they did to get back in and win that game. And you mentioned Sherrell. Now, we haven't talked about Philon yet. He was dazzling at the end. But you mentioned Sherrell. The guy played as many or more minutes than anybody in the game. I don't have the minutes in front of me, but I think he was at 34 at the end.
Sherrell actually played 33 minutes.
33.
It was a game high.
33 minutes, game high.
Oh, well, no, Gillespie played 36.
Okay. Game high for Alabama.
He had an amazing freaking game for Tennessee.
He was terrific, yeah.
But yeah, game high for Alabama.
Game high for Alabama. And there at the end, even with 30, at the time, I think it was 31 or 32 minutes where the clock was here, that dude is still blocking shots, going after massive rebounds for Alabama. He had to be gassed, the big guy.
He got the hard hat, and Nate joked in the locker room. He played more minutes than anybody, but there used to be a time where he would cramp up when he played 10 minutes in a game, and now he's playing more minutes than anybody, crediting him for his off-season training and his work.
I bet he's one of those guys that in the off-season – he probably got a nice little raise, a bump.
Yeah, I would
think. If you look back, if you did the arbitration after the season, he would get paid a lot more than he got paid going into the season.
Because I think 32, 33 minutes out of him is your path for going deep in this NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need – because Bo Bowen's been a little bit better. Williamson's minutes are just their minutes.
But Bo Bowen was bad Saturday. Again.
He was. But Williamson was good, though.
I thought
he came in and rested him for 7 minutes, which was crucial.
Nate Ament, who had such a big game, 29 against Alabama, hurts the leg and is limited to 11 minutes. Comes back early in the second half and then misses basically the final 18 minutes. That was huge. Tennessee only get into the line at home 8 times. And a lot of that is Aiden Sherrell, afraid to go in there and,
that's right.
Get those shots blocked or at least altered.
But a little of that is Tennessee plays the game and they want it officiated one way. And when you want it, Tennessee loves it when the officials let you play physical. They dictate that when they're playing a game. They make officials let you play, and you don't get to the free throw line as much when everybody's letting you play. And I really think that benefits Alabama because I don't think Alabama's a great defensive team. So if they're allowing a little hacking, a little hand checking, I think that helps Alabama play a little bit better defense. Here's Nate on the end of the game. Was that a great call? Was it clear out and let Philon get the bucket, or was this all creativity from LeBaron Philon, who actually shook his head and laughed when they switched the defender on him for that big game-winning bucket with just over 20 seconds left to play? Here's Nate.
The game winner from Philon, was that the design just for him to just go get the bucket?
Yeah, when you got a player like him, sometimes you better off not trying to get too tricky as a coach. Try to get the matchup. We knew they were going to switch. They switched a lot. Try to get the matchup in the switch that we want. Give him some space and let him do what he does. He goes and gets buckets. He hits a tough bucket he hit. Holloway hit a tough one. Those two guys have made some pretty big baskets for us in some of our bigger wins this year. So, and Reitzel's really coming into his own. So, really can't say enough about our backcourt. And then obviously Aiden Sherrill was huge for us. So, the last play of the game, get the ball in his hands and let him make something happen.
I didn't get the switch from Rick Barnes and to question his defense. This is still one of the best defensive teams in college basketball, but you go with length. Gillespie had 8 steals in that game, and I would rather go with the quick hands than the length, because you saw, Philon got the shot he wanted.
Yeah. If they don't switch Brown, they probably pass the ball out of Philon's hand at that point. If they don't switch, they probably pass it to someone else.
Or you force him to put his head down and drive to the basket where you could get a shot block. And in this case, you didn't do that because now he's one-on-one with a defender that's way overmatched. I laughed out loud when he started shaking his head. I'm like, that's a baller move right there. And I think it was either Ravage or Jimmy Dykes pointed it out that he backed out and started shaking his head. And you knew then that Philon knew, I can break this guy's ankles.
That would be, if Tennessee was on the bubble, like a lot of teams right now in the SEC, that would be a back-breaking loss. Like, brutal. I ended up, made the mistake of having a 7 o'clock dinner, had a event Saturday night, and so I'm sitting at the dinner table with my phone watching all this, and I still just couldn't believe. I was like, I almost shut it down because, so rude with other people, but, I kind of tell them straight up, I got to watch the end of this game. I almost shut it down, but I still don't know how they won that game. It doesn't make any sense.
Georgia on the road, then wrap up the regular season home with Alabama, but it would take
with Auburn
at Alabama. It would take Alabama losing both games and then some other things happening for them not to be a double bye at the SEC tournament. But more importantly than the SEC tournament is the NCAA seeding. So you'd love to go ahead and win both of these coming up this weekend. To what happened at Auburn and what is yet still not the sunk boat, but it is trending that way for Stephen Pearl in Auburn, after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is our wonderful friends at Kalshi. Tell us about Kalshi, LT.
Yeah, take a position on not only sports, but also pop culture, politics. The first thing you need to do is download the Kalshi app. If you have not done that, this is pure entertainment with all of the different positions that you can take with our friends at Kalshi. Download it, put in that code TNR. When you get $10, when you trade $10 from our friends at Kalshi. How to trade using Kalshi now that it's legally available in all 50 states. Very important. You can trade in and out of positions for profits. Teaches you how to eat a loss, Brown. I've seen you do this.
You've seen me do it.
Take a position, and 3 minutes later, you sell that position.
That's right. I didn't eat a loss. I took a win, but I was able to sell out of the position because I liked where I was, and it was hockey, and I didn't know what I was talking about anyway.
I did that twice on Saturday.
Did you eat a loss or you sold out and won?
I sold out and ended up it started to trend bad in Texas A&M for me. I thought Texas A&M was about to come back and win it.
Yeah.
So I was making a profit. So I jumped in and cashed out right there and took my profit. And then I hated myself later. I was like, I should have held on. But
it's really an art. I've got a guy now he waits until the game starts, gets on one side when they're down. When they close the gap and look, it's a feel thing. You get in, you get out. Yeah. But he's been making a lot of dollars through Kalshi.
Well, you can play the college basketball games tonight. Scottish showing Arizona, Iowa State, 76% for Arizona. And Duke is 84% over North Carolina State. You can also switch to sports fan mode and get your traditional views like Duke minus 9.5 in that game in Raleigh and Arizona minus 7.5 there in Tucson. Play all those games and any sporting event and politics, pop culture, a lot of that at Kalshi, Kalshi.com or the Kalshi app. Code TNR, $10 on your first $10 position with code TNR at Kalshi. Who ended up with the number one song? Was it that this weekend? I know you traded out.
It was Opalite, Taylor Swift.
Okay.
No, that was number 2, I thought. I just randomly on Saturday morning going to pick up breakfast.
I didn't sell my position there because it was not offered to me. So I know it wasn't, as I checked my account this morning, I know it wasn't Choosing Texas.
Yeah, I don't know what the number one song was, but the Taylor Swift was number 2.
By Taylor Swift, followed by Choosing Texas by Ella Langley.
Okay,
so close.
I was wrong. I don't
So
know.
close.
So close.
Wow, you finished second.
It also does not show the numbers, though, so we don't know
Probably
how
significant.
close. It
Yes.
could be first place, ran away with it,
Yeah.
and then second
That's what
and
I'm gonna
everybody else
guess.
were real close.
That's what I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
Will you take another position on that?
By the way, position I took on Tyler Reddick to win 3 in a row.
That's pretty remarkable.
He did
That's
it.
the
That was
first time
good.
in a
Yeah.
long
First time in
That's-
history.
Yeah. No, in history, the first
It's
3?
been a while. I think Jeff Gordon did it.
No, it was first time in history.
Yeah.
That somebody has won the first 3 races.
First 3, yep.
Okay. I thought I remember Gordon doing
Well,
it.
if it was only Jeff Gordon, that's pretty good
Yeah,
company to be
trust
in.
me, you know I'm not a NASCAR guy at all.
Say
I
the-
have heard it multiple
The
times.
fact Lance knew. It's crazy.
we're going to do this now. Here's Tyler Reddick with the 3-finger.
Feels a little different than that, but
Yeah, but okay.
First 3 races there, and just like his car owner Michael Jordan. So they ended up trying to get the hat right and everything to sort of duplicate, emulate, and remake that 3 picture. But good for Michael Jordan and Tyler Reddick winning there. The lock. Central State Bank
that's
as
right.
well. Tell us
Yeah,
about Central State Bank.
Central State Bank, the bank big enough to meet every need you have, but they're also small enough to own you. If you look for a bank that plays on your team, Central State Bank is that bank, your hometown bank, serving all of Central Alabama. Whether you're chasing dreams or building your business, they got the tools, team, and personal touch to help you win. More than 100 years of trusted service, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you, rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
With all that, back to basketball we go. Auburn ends up losing a game they couldn't lose to Ole Miss. Quad 3 home loss, and Stephen Pearl. Am I right about this? Give me Forrester's microphone. We're about to give you Stephen Pearl's entire post-game press conference. Is that right?
This is it. This is a beginning to end. I did cut out a small break after his opening statement where there's just kind of silence for about 4 seconds. Otherwise, this is everything he said.
So this is Stephen Pearl's short 2-minute and 30-second entire post-game press conference after the home loss to Ole Miss.
Yeah, really disappointed. We want to apologize to our fans who have been so phenomenal all year. They deserve better from us, and we got to do better. Up 7 in the first half, and they take the 1-point lead at halftime, and we're up 8 in the beginning of the second half, and just don't do a great job of converting those opportunities. And we had an opportunity to step on their throats and extend the leads, and both times we just had empty possessions offensively, and can't do that. And they took advantage of it. So, take any questions.
Stephen, they got hot early from 3-point range. Kind of what were the issues there? Was it kind of some of the same stuff against Oklahoma, like breakdowns on the defensive end? Were they just hitting shots?
Yeah, I'll have to look. It's a team that makes 4 threes a game, and they made 10. So, made 5 of their first 6, I think. So, I got to look. We tried to impact the ball screen early, and I got to see like where our guys were off the ball, and if we just were too flat or gave bad help. But they made shots early, and I feel like I sound like a broken record every time you allow teams to make shots early. That gives them confidence for the rest of the game, and that's what happened.
Tahai had a pretty good game tonight, making plays and making shots. Can you talk about what kind of clicked for him tonight?
Yeah, he was good offensively. 10 for 16 is very efficient. Defensively, I got to watch film, but offensively he was great. So I'm happy he played well offensively.
Sure.
Stephen, second straight game that Murph doesn't play a ton and struggles when he's out there. Just kind of what do you think's kind of gone on here these last couple games, or especially tonight?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He came out gimpy, in the first half. I'm not sure what happened, so I need to talk to Clark and see exactly, why he wasn't out there late. But no one came to me and said anything about him, so I'm not really sure exactly what it was. But Phillips plus 8 in 23 minutes, so that probably, and Murph's minus 14. So Murph's got to be better. Murph's 20 minutes late to film on Thursday morning. That's why he doesn't start, and kind of carried over to his performance tonight.
Well, there was a lot in that.
20 minutes late to film.
Is that where we want to start?
Yeah.
Because On the show last week, I said I did not think Auburn would make the NCAA tournament. Now, I didn't predict they were going to lose to Ole Miss or LSU, but that was going to be the path, right? But I'm not trying to say I predicted this game. But I said last week on the show, I don't think they'll make the tournament. And I said that because after the loss to Oklahoma, Stephen Pearl is in the postgame saying we got guys that aren't dedicated. You know, they won't study the game plan. They won't implement the game plan. And y'all know we talked about this. I was like, dude, it is 28 games. If they hadn't done it in 28 games, why do you think they're going to do it in game 29? Well, sure enough, here's game 29. What happened? One of your stud players is 20 minutes late for film. That's who this team is. And they don't want to make the NCAA tournament. That group as a collective, now I'm not saying everybody in this group, but that group as a collective does not want to play in the NCAA tournament badly enough. It's why I said I thought they would miss it. I didn't know they would show its head that quick. But that's how you miss the tournament is you're just not dedicated. They won one game in February. That team does not want to play in the NCAA tournament.
You know, the crazy thing is they got rid of the biggest prima donna schizophrenic, guy from the roster. And I know we'll get to Chad Baker in a little bit. These guys seem to be taking advantage of Steven. Steven's got to have some accountability too. Maybe this is just the growing pains in year one. I just don't think there is a chance in hell these guys would take advantage of Bruce Pearl like this.
They wouldn't. I mean, that's some of this.
And I think that's unfortunate. And then I think another thing that's going to jump out with Steven, not only have they lost 7 of 8, but when they're trailing with 5 minutes left, they played 13 games. What do you think their record is?
Oh, no. So 13 games they've trailed at under 5?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess. Well, they trailed against Kentucky and won that one, so I'm going to say 1-12.
That sounds like a good guess. I was going to say 0-13, but 1-12.
I read it was 0-13.
I thought maybe they didn't trail the last 5 against Kentucky. I thought they did. I thought Kentucky was up at some point that game.
I mean, were they not up?
I thought they were. But
when Auburn got that call
but
and they got the bucket?
Either way, it can't be good.
Yeah.
And that's the number that was posted yesterday, whether or not that's factual. But, I believed it when I read it, just the way they're playing right now. Just – not good basketball, and if you want to pad your stats as a guard, you want to play the Auburn Tigers. Their defense is terrible. Patton Pinkins was a 9-point-a-guy game coming into that. 8 of 10, 26 points. Yep. Didn't have the 30 that the primary guard's been averaging, but 26 for Patton Pinkins.
And I will say this about Steven, and he has taken some accountability on this, and it falls at his feet. He's the head coach. When you collapse like this down the stretch, you're going to look at everything, but it's ultimately going to stop at the head coach. It's who he is. It's why he's getting paid the money, and it's why he's got the job. And this is on him, unfortunately. And whatever disciplinary measures, and I've given him credit for sitting Pettiford and bringing him off the bench, for making Keyshawn Hall sit and watch you lose at Arkansas. By the way, massive loss in hindsight right now. This might be a totally different conversation if you win that game. But Keyshawn Hall had to sit and watch that game. Those are tough disciplinary measures to make as a first-year head coach, but for some reason, they obviously didn't get home. You still got a guy that's a key player that's 20 minutes late for film.
I've said to people, it'll be interesting to see if any of these guys are on the roster next year. It would be hard for me to want any of them back. Especially the ones that have caused me to do disciplinary action, including Todd Pettiford.
Oh, I don't think there's any way. First of all, I think Pettiford's in the NBA. I don't think that's why he's back because he's in the NBA. I think Pettiford's playing college basketball next
year. He's not going to the NBA.
No, he's killed his stock.
He has killed his stock, but I wouldn't be surprised if he still tests those waters.
So he's G League next year?
He can test it all he wants. He's not going to the NBA.
He'll be G League.
He doesn't play defense, and he's smaller than you think. Every time I see him in person, I forget how small he is.
The unfortunate thing for Steven is this was going to be a lot of the growing pains and learning as a first-year coach and having to go out and basically flip the entire roster outside of Pettiford. I agree with you guys. I think he's got to flip the entire thing again.
He does. Yeah. I think it'll be start from scratch.
There may be 1 or 2 guys who are doing it the right way that he still wants to keep around. And then I would be also interested on, do I keep that entire coaching staff? Because you talked about discipline with the players, and they wouldn't run over Bruce Pearl this way. I think part of that was the combination of Bruce and Steven, good cop, bad cop, good cop, however you want to look at it, where Bruce was able to be the enforcer, and then Steven was able to go in there.
Love up on him a little bit.
Love them up a little bit and get everybody back working as a team. Well, who's that now under me as I'm being the disciplinarian?
It's an important dynamic, especially today. With these kids tapping out, and I'm not going back in the game. And
it was sold as a big plus that we're keeping the whole coaching staff together after Bruce Pearl. That was a big plus. That hasn't worked. it hasn't worked. Just bottom line, it hasn't worked.
I mean, Stephen Pearl, if he were sitting right here next to us, would tell you it hasn't worked. You are what your record says you are. We have played now 29 games of the season, and Auburn is 15-14, 6-10 in conference. And by most measures, outside the NCAA tournament, somehow Lenardi still has them in. Yeah. I don't know what you got to do to get out of Lenardi's bracket.
Do updates. We talked about this.
He did this one, though.
Yeah. When did he do
it? It was Sunday, or it was late Saturday night.
He did it late Saturday night. I think he did one yesterday, too, and Auburn's in still.
Yeah, he's got him playing in Dayton.
Well, this is the ultimate case study on to why we don't need to expand the tournament. How we are trying to argue for the Auburn Tigers getting it at 15-14 at 6-10. I don't care.
And they really haven't won
5 quad wins.
Haven't won a meaningful game since January.
Yeah, like they're not a good basketball team.
I mean,
right now.
Guys, they won one game in February.
Yeah.
I mean, Lance, you bring up all the time how much you think the last 10 should matter, and I agree with.
By the way, the last 10 for Ole Miss, you know what it was going into the Auburn game?
It was 0 for 10.
Yeah, 0 and 10.
Their last win was before Auburn beat them last time. I think we finally found the common ground on that. I think the last 10 should hurt you and not help you. I think that's the way they ought to use the last 10. And if they did that, there's zero shot Auburn's in this tournament. They've won one game in February.
But I agree with you. I think there's zero shot this team is in.
But here's
zero.
Just arguing the other side is the last 10 for Santa Clara and New Mexico is very different than the last 10 for Auburn. You see what I'm saying?
It is.
Okay, so that's why you have to judge this differently.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, does the regular season count at all for teams like Santa Clara?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you got to look at.
Here's the thing, though.
I mean, again, we talk about Miami of Ohio could lose a game in 3 days.
So it comes down to who have you beaten is inevitably what this comes down to. And then you get credit for playing a tough schedule and losses. But who have you beaten? And I don't have Santa Clara or New Mexico or any of those others that are right there. San Diego State, Ohio State. Ohio State got a big win over the weekend, beat Purdue, so they're first 4 out. But to me, they're trending more in than Auburn is. But, who has Santa Clara beat this year? Who has New Mexico beat this year compared to who Auburn has beaten? And that's why I think the conversation, it looks horrible when you're as bad as Auburn is right now and you're still in the tournament. But 100% of what you're saying, Lance, no way should we ever expand the tournament because the fact that Auburn is still in, the fact that, California, VCU, USC, Cincinnati, all those would be in if we expand this thing.
I mean, does he still have Indiana in?
Yeah.
They got a win over the week or a loss over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost 4 straight.
Yeah. I mean,
Auburn's lost, 8
7
of 9?
of 8.
7 of 8,
all of February, Jim, they beat Kentucky, which normally is a feather in the cap. This is a pretty average Kentucky team, but it was Here's the thing I would say is Auburn has been living on this strength of schedule. That's the one reason they're still even in this discussion is strength of schedule.
It's the only reason.
It is. And if I'm on the committee, not that I would want to be, but if I were on the committee, I would look at it and say, Auburn, we appreciate you playing that strength of schedule because it showed us you don't belong in this tournament. You're playing a lot of teams that are the type of teams you're going to play in this tournament, and you're 15-14 right now. I mean, your strength of schedule is great. Nice job doing it, but it has only shown us you do not belong in the tournament. That's what that strength of schedule has showed us. I don't think they're in. They're going to, maybe an upset over Alabama does it. If they can pull that off on Saturday, I think sometimes conference tournament wins get overvalued, but maybe if they pull one in the conference tournament up in Nashville, I think it's a hill to climb for Auburn.
Yeah, we go back, January 6th, almost 2 months ago, and that A&M, the controversial finish against Auburn. And at that point, you had a 12-3 A&M team. You had a 9-6 Auburn team. And, I mean, it seemed like both of those teams were squarely in, and now I think both those teams are out.
Yeah, A&M comfortably in, relatively speaking, right now, according to Lenardi. But they've what? They've lost
6 of 8,
2 of 6 in February. Yeah. So that's again, trending in the wrong direction.
I feel like we end up saying this every year. They got to find 68 of them. Yeah, and it's always hard.
A little college football, more basketball. Ron Slay coming up in a little bit as well. The show being brought to you by 2 great sponsors. One of them, our friends at Heupel. They bring you Lance's Lock every day. Lance'sLock.com.
Yeah, rough day Saturday, but bounced back yesterday. A half a point away from a perfect day, but another winning day for you yesterday. We start the week off with a bang. Jump on board. Win with us at Lance'sLock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Heupel Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling issues, home or business. They are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Hey, and you can go buy Bojangles right now and get that Bojangler is back for a limited time. That Alaskan pollock filet with Bo's seasoning on it is terrific. And the deluxe adds lettuce, pickles, tomato, cheese, and they've got tartar sauce on there as well. It is terrific. Start your day putting up threes with a triple-double biscuit. Triple the protein, sausage, egg, and bacon. Double the cheese, all on scratch-made biscuits right there at Bojangles. And try any of their biscuits, like the ham biscuit, 2 for $5 right now, with that new Bojangles iced coffee for a slam dunk. And finish any meal with a brand new strawberry cobbler, all at your local Bojangles, where you can always make it Bo time.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Heupel Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Heupel are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Heupel Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Heupel Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
It's Bo time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's Bo time. It's Bo time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's Bo time.
180 days away from the start of the college football season. Conference tournament season starts today. I think the Horizon starts today, the Sun Belt tomorrow. So it's championship week for some automatic bids that go on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. We'll start filling up the field for real coming up this weekend. And then there's our buddy Jon Sumrall getting ready to go out with Florida for spring football. So it was time for the old photo shoot this weekend.
Well, they say only gators get out alive, right? Well, lucky I'm an alligator too now, so I'm a gator too. What do you got?
Oh, a real gator? I mean, how close is he to that thing?
Is that close enough for y'all? I'm like, hey, sit still. Stop. Yeah, I'm here, don't worry. Go get, here you go. Come on, let's do some of these.
I'd stop patting that football, by the way.
Yeah, boy.
She's just so attracted to me. I like you too. Not that much, but enough. This is the swamp. Only gators get out alive. Whoa!
Oh,
no. Easy, Helena. Chill out. Come on.
You think it's a...
Look over there.
No, is it tranquilized? Do you think it's tranquilized?
No.
No, they're pretty docile.
Chill out.
Yeah, no, it's a gator, not a croc, and
no.
They're trainers to the side with meat, I'm sure.
Yeah, but what I'm confused is if Don Johnson on Miami Vice could have a pet gator on his boat, why can't the Florida Gators have a real gator for their mascot? Because the guy-girl gator, it's one of the worst dynamics in all of sports as far as mascots.
Yeah,
why not have the real one?
Yeah, why can't that thing be on the sidelines? I'm with Lance.
Oh, please.
What?
What are you going to do?
I mean, how exciting is that? That's not exciting.
It's not exciting, but...
No, but it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have a gator. Ugga's not exciting, but they show them on TV all the time.
I mean, that's one of the few species that's been around for, 20 million years.
I have played golf courses that have gators on them, and primarily in Hilton Head. There's a lot of those in Hilton Head, and they'll tell you, like, the gator's not likely to come after you. Just stay away from it. I mean, I think most of the time, if you just stay away from the gator, they ain't going to mess with you. Now, crocodile's a different story.
Oh, I think it would be awesome if they had a live gator.
I thought it was really fun. Jon Sumrall, the video there, the way he interacts with it. Love that guy. He's fantastic. Let's tell you about our friends at Crane U.
Our friends at Crane U want to remind you, if you're looking for a new career, need further training to advance your current one, Crane U offers the comprehensive, state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, team at Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Make the job easier, your job site safer. Very important, mention the next round when you talk to the fine folks, whether it's Fran or Nicole there at Crane U. 10% off all the great services, 855-CRANE-U. You can always go online. Classes available monthly, craneu.com.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by our guy Alexander Shinara. Shinara Trial Attorneys brings you the Shinara Spotlight. You can reach them at Shinara.com when you have any legal need. Shinara.com, where you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. That's Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. This is a guy that has recovered more than $2 billion for his clients by having some core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. He wanted to create a firm that could handle anything his community of Birmingham faced. He has done just that. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys, Shinara.com.
I don't think this is going to surprise anybody, but this time last year, Greg Sankey, he had the coaches lined up behind him for a 16-team playoff. True? All the SEC coaches were like, they came out of the May meetings, 16. 16's our number, 5 plus 11. That has whittled away, and I don't think you blame anyone for this because of this reason. Josh Heupel, the latest SEC coach, on record with Chris Lowe, saying, I'm in favor of a 24-team playoff. Why do you think that is, guys? Pretty simple.
Well, pretty simple, because the expectation now is making the college football playoff if you're a guy like Josh Heupel with that kind of fan base. But it becomes diluted if it's a 24-team playoff. Like, if you don't make, then to me it gets more dicey for your job, much like college basketball now. If you don't make the 68, that is an awful year.
Yep.
So I think once we get to 24, if you're not making it and you're a Tennessee coach, your job becomes that much more in jeopardy.
Well, I mean, pretty much. Heupel was there with the 12. 1 year he wasn't there this year. But he's one of the guys going 24. But like LT says, Brown, this is job security. They feel like if I'm in the playoffs, I'm safe.
100%. Because basically, I mean, do you guys not think if we go to a 2014 playoff, if you're an SEC team not in that playoff, you finish the season unranked, right? I mean, if you're ranked in the AP Top 25, you're going to be in a 2014 playoff.
Well, the latest Big Ten proposal is leaving one open for the group of 6 and then the top 23 teams. So that's their proposal.
Just on whatever ranking that there is.
Whatever the college football playoff ranking
it's going to be hard to finish ranked in any of the major polls. Obviously, the playoff poll is the one that's going to matter. That's what's going to determine this, Lance. But, I mean, I would think it'd be hard to finish ranked and not be in the playoffs. So, basically, we're going to just start rewarding you for being a ranked SEC team. And I think that's what's going to happen when you get to the play. I don't think fans are going to be done enough to buy this.
But do you guys think 8-4 gets you in?
If it's the right 8-4, yeah.
I'm just saying, Tennessee was 8-4 last year. They end up unranked because they lost their bowl game, but that didn't seem like a playoff team.
I agree. It doesn't seem like a playoff team. But, yeah, I think an 8-4 Tennessee team probably got in the playoffs. I'd have to look at everything.
Well, I mean, two playoff teams they played and lost to, it took a heck of a comeback from Gunner Stockton in Georgia in a great football game, Tennessee and Georgia, this off the top of my head. And if not for the pick 6 right before the half, that Alabama-Tennessee game is a little different too. That's 2 playoff teams there. That's how close they were at 8-4 with a makeshift quarterback situation at the end of the year.
No, I get it, but now we're creeping closer to the college basketball model where teams aren't really deserving.
No, you're right about that.
I got no problem with 16. You got to shut it at 16.
Yeah, well, I just don't think we're going to do that. So here were Tennessee's wins: Syracuse, ETSU, UAB. On the road at State in overtime, Arkansas, Kentucky, New Mexico State, and Florida. There were no good wins there.
Yeah.
Not a single good win.
None. They had none.
Yeah, I don't think Missouri had any good wins, and they would have been.
Yeah, you're putting them in basically on what you said, Dunaway, as well. They played Alabama close at times, and they played Georgia to overtime. I mean, that's what would have gotten them in the college football playoff. But that's what you're going to get with 24 teams. You're going to have teams that look a lot like that are in your college football playoffs.
But do you guys not agree? Like, it's a job saver if you get there, but if you don't, now that we've expanded to 24, it looks even worse.
Yeah. Just like, as you said, the NCAA tournament. By the way, Lane Kiffin, 2 pretty big games on LSU's schedule on the regular. It's not every year now, but on the regular. Alabama and Florida. Do you know Lane Kiffin's record against Alabama and Florida? Those are big games for LSU fans, right?
Yeah.
I would say Lane. How many games?
He's coached in 9 of those.
1-8.
He is 1-8. 0-5 versus Alabama, 1-3 versus Florida.
By the way, Florida hasn't been very good.
That's a bad Florida.
Now, obviously, that's him at Ole Miss and other places. But now that he is coaching at LSU, those are 2 pretty big, as they get ready for spring football to start. They'll be the last team, by the way, out. Lane Kiffin is the last team to go at LSU when they get on the spring football field. I don't think they start maybe until the very end of March, maybe the 1st of April. No, he'll have a spring football to himself by that point. Lane Kiffin and LSU will. One other note in college football before we swing back to basketball and some other things going on. It's not what you think, but it was what I thought when I first looked at it. The Seminole Booster Tour has been paused. They're not taking Mike Norvell out this year to meet the boosters. They're saying they're getting no return on the investment. So basically touring Mike Norvell around costs you money, and you're not getting NIL donations and such. I know Auburn still does an event that Cole Kubelik, I think, hosts sometimes, where they go around and meet fans. I'm not sure Kalen DeBoer does this anymore either.
Golish was just in town doing it, but he's also a first-year coach, so I think that's some of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if DeBoer does the Crimson Caravan anymore.
Yeah,
I think anymore you find big money guys in each town and probably do a private dinner with them or something like that.
That's right.
Rather than do a big event.
So at first when I said, Seminole Booster Tour paused, Mike Norvell's not hitting the booster trail this year, I thought to myself, well, that's not a good sign for Mike Norvell. And then I read more about it, and no return on the investment.
I can't
not enough juice for the squeeze.
But I can't imagine how many people would have been lined up to go to that. I mean, if you're a Florida State fan right now, does that excite you?
No.
You got Mike Norvell speaking tonight?
I mean, the only thing that's saving Norvell, we know, is the buyout.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe hey, you know what's sad? The Seminole Booster event would probably be bigger if it was raising money for the buyout. Rather than an NIL, every
Mike Norvell's not here tonight.
Yeah,
and you can make that permanent.
if you like him not at this dinner, just imagine him not being our coach.
It would draw more. I think.
Oh, it would. Like if they said it's $100 a plate, $75 a plate goes to the buyout.
One more thing to get to before we get to the viewing menu today, brought to you by our friends at CPAP Plus. Tell us about Sleep Home Alabama.
Yeah, very important that you are getting the proper 8+ hours of sleep every single night. If you're not, you need to get into one of those 5 convenient locations throughout the state of Alabama from our friends at CPAP Plus. If you're looking for the best CPAP gear with personal service you can trust, 3 locations here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280 at Trussville. Stop by CPAP Plus, see the O'Neill brothers, Woody and Joe O'Neill. You're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you with hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. For more information, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
All right, so LT mentioned it in the first segment. Let's get more into it now. Chad Baker-Mazzara, when he's in line with team thinking, is really good, leading USC in scoring 18.5 points per game. When he is Chad Baker-Mazzara and not in line, he can be a problem even at Auburn when he was playing there. The 26-year-old is no longer on the team at USC. He scratched himself at the end of the, I think it was Nebraska-USC game this weekend. Here's Eric Musselman after the game. He gets asked about Chad Baker-Mazzara. This is courtesy of USCfootball.com.
Eric, what happened to Chad on the baseline there?
He said he couldn't go.
Do you have, is it a, do
No,
you know?
I haven't talked to the trainer. He said he couldn't go.
Okay, so you don't know at all going forward what it's looking like?
Nope.
So if you didn't see this, and I only saw reports of it initially, he leaves the game, comes back out of the locker room. Where would normally a player who can't go but is still on the team sit?
Oh, the end of the bench.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not by the coach. I'm not going in. I'm going to sit at the end of the bench. He sits on the baseline among the fans.
No, with Rodney Rice, who got injured earlier this year and was one of USC's best players.
When I saw the story initially, Lance, and Scott is showing the photo, I assumed he did this in street clothes. He comes back out in his uniform and sits with the fans. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Now, Musselman was asked about it, and he said, we just don't have enough seats on our bench. So that's why the players who are not eligible were sitting in that area there. Much like LT said, that's an injured player that's there. That's what Musselman said.
Well, where would Chad be if he had just subbed out of the game?
Yeah, you've got enough seats there.
He literally was in the game.
Yeah, this is such a wild situation. Nobody really has definitive what went down. I'm just assuming that Musselman probably wanted him to go back in the game, and he's like, I'm not going back in the game.
According to the LA Times, not one issue, an accumulation of issues led to Chad Baker-Mazzara being cut.
I was shocked. I have not watched any USC. I assume, Lance, you have. Dunaway, maybe you have. I have not watched them play one game this year.
Very average team.
Oh, yeah. They've played their way out of the tournament. They were in at one point, and they're leaking as well. I was stunned to see he was averaging 18 a game for them. I did not realize. I knew he was a good offensive player. 18 a game is pretty good.
Man, he led them in assists, steals. Yeah. He's a guy, and we talked about this a couple of years ago. He's got a skill set for the NBA. But, at 6'7", he can do a lot of things, especially in the NBA game that they like. But the problem is he's 26 years old, and the attitude.
It's terrible.
He is toxic,
ticking time bomb. Yeah, ticking time bomb with him.
Gilbert Arenas' son is on the team as well. And when he saw on Sunday that Chad Baker had been dismissed, he went to social media and, let's just say if you're Gilbert Arenas' son, it's okay if Dad doesn't call you the best player on the team.
Right before the tournament, this is what we doing. Our best player, Mr. I Get Buckets. Every night. He brings it every night. Guaranteed 18, 20 every night. We trying to, I got my 4 on. I don't know who he cussed out. But get over it, he's right. Right, when you the best player on the team, whatever you say, you right. If he says them suck, he's right. We watching the game. Give him the ball, get the out the way. That's the offense. Damn. We supposed to be playing in a tournament, man. Now we gotta watch this junior varsity ass team playing by their selves.
God, killing Musselman.
Not worth the meltdown. By the way, the team sucked with him, so it's not like that they were going to make the tournament to begin with.
Am I right? Gilbert's son's still on the team?
Yeah.
Now,
But
Elijah Arenas.
I tell you what, man, Gilbert Arenas commenting on Chad Baker-Mazzara is one heck of a combo right there, though. I mean, that's there's a lot of commonality there.
Yeah, but his point was he's the best player on the team. I don't care if he cussed out the coaches. He's right. You got to let him cuss out the coaches and keep him in the lineup. You don't agree with that?
I don't
right?
agree with
Yeah,
that.
me either.
NBA, it's a different game. I mean, these guys can maybe get away with it, and I know they're being paid now, but you just can't have this. I don't know where it stops. This is getting out of whack. We thought the Darren Peterson thing was one thing when he was pulling himself in and out, and you didn't know what the ailment was, and Bill Self and his teammates couldn't count on him. But now, Chad Baker-Mazzara off the team?
Yeah. You heard a little bit of it during Stephen, the Keyshawn Murphy. Clark hasn't come back to me and tell me what was wrong with him, but nobody told me he couldn't go back in the game.
Yeah, it sounded
like he was pouting over the not starting, being late for the film, or maybe some miscommunication with the bench and the head coach there, whatever.
Is this going to get worse, I guess?
If Chad Baker-Mazzara had stayed at Auburn.
Oh, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already had to sit Pettiford and Hall. What do you,
18 a game, though.
And Murphy.
And Murphy. I mean, I don't know what you would have to do with Chad Baker-Mazzara. I mean, do you know how much he would run over Steve or try to run over Stephen Pearl?
Yeah. No, he would.
Yeah.
What you got to have is you got to have the right leaders. You just absolutely have to.
Yeah, I said that last week. That's what this team is missing. Not the on-the-court performance from Janai and Dylan Cardwell, but you missed that too. But those guys kept the locker room in line.
Well, and I think you see with Chad Baker-Mazzara how much Broom and Caldwell had to do just to keep that. I mean, that was a ticking time bomb even at Auburn with Chad Baker-Mazzara.
Absolutely. So he's out at USC. Even if USC makes it to a NIT, a CBA, or if they somehow sneak into the NCAA tournament, he will not be part of the Trojan roster there. What's part of the viewing menu? Tyler and Lance have a new show starting today. Brought to you today, the viewing menu by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, 205-969-8100, the number that I called way back in 2003. Make that call. If you wear the contacts, glasses, you procrastinated, you've thought about LASIK, find out if it's really right for you. You've got to be the right candidate. They will let you know at Michelson Laser Vision. Very important to ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. 205-969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Got a couple of new releases that came out last night for new shows. First off, Max has a new show that's been getting a lot of attention called DTF St. Louis. In this darkly comedic series, a love triangle between three adults experiencing middle-aged malaise leads to one of them ending up dead. It stars Jason Bateman, David Harbour, and Linda Cardellini. Did you guys watch it?
I haven't watched it. I've seen the previews a couple of times. Obviously a good cast with Jason Bateman.
Yeah, I really like Jason Bateman. I like almost anything he's in.
Yeah, I like David Harbour a lot.
I don't know.
Cardinelli is, kind of sneaky hot for a mom. What's the name of it?
DTF St. Louis.
Okay.
Next up, Paramount Plus has a new Taylor Sheridan show. So if you like those, you got more of it. It's called Marshals. With the Yellowstone Ranch behind him, Casey Dutton joins an elite unit of U.S. Marshals to bring range justice to Montana. Sounds real dumb, but if you're this hooked into Yellowstone, you might as well write it out.
Well, it's taking his character, which he played on the show, and he was a U.S. Marshal with the ranch unit at the end. So it's the first of the, well, I guess it's not a spinoff. Well, technically it's a spinoff. The others were prequels, I guess. So it's a true spinoff of Yellowstone now.
Yeah, most people I've talked to that watched Yellowstone, I tapped out a long, long time ago, but I think most people that watched it tapped out.
Yeah, I tried to get into it because one Thanksgiving, my family was talking about what was going on in the show with the same level of seriousness that they talk about college football and politics at Thanksgiving. So I thought, well, I might as well check it out. I could not make it past the first episode. what's her name? Beth?
Yeah.
Most annoying character in TV history.
Yeah, I would agree with
God.
that. But I'll say the first episode was the best. Usually with a pilot episode, you know, there's a lot of people that will watch the pilot. They kind of jump out. They're like, this isn't interesting. And the pilot's setting a lot of things up. The pilot was the best episode, in my opinion, ever of Yellowstone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It just
And it
goes
was 2
downhill
hours.
from
It was,
there.
it was like a movie.
Yeah, it really
good.
was. I watched that. It was like a movie.
Yeah.
Next up, Hulu has added a movie that I've been meaning to get to watch for a long time to its catalog, and that is Birdman. A forgotten actor known for his superhero characters struggles to make a comeback on the Broadway stage while his personal life and psyche implode. It stars Michael Keaton, Zach Galifianakis, Edward Norton, and Emma Stone. And the one thing I hear about this movie that really makes it sound cool is that it's edited to look like one long take. So I'm really excited to get into this tonight.
It's a great movie. Well-deserved for him winning Best Actor, Best Picture, everything. Very, very good.
I'm looking forward to it. Finally, on viewing menu today, Scott, do you still have Peacock?
You know, I'm not sure what day that runs out. I haven't really been checking in on Peacock much lately.
It's a new month, though, so your 1 month subscription's over. Yeah.
Ooh, well, if you do still have it, they've added a lot to their catalog, and you can watch Leprechaun, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3.
Those are classics.
Leprechaun 4, Lost in Space. Leprechaun 5, In the Hood. Leprechaun 6, Back to the Hood. And Leprechaun Origins.
I'm going to assume if Leprechaun 8 was coming out at the theater, you would be catching up on all these this week.
Hey,
right?
do they have Killer Clowns from Outer Space too?
I don't know if that's on there. That's definitely on Tubi, and I think it's on Hulu or Max as well. I'll have to double check on that.
Yeah, that's what Tyler's watching. Tell us about the new show. When are you guys recording it? When does it drop? Where do we see it?
It's on Tubi.
Not the new show.
Not our new show. And by the way, Leprechaun, was that not the start for Jennifer Aniston? I think the first or second Leprechaun, back before she got the rhinoplasty. We are recording the show right after our show today. The next reel, there's the logo. You guys like the logo?
Good job. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, Brooks, Tyler, Scott, everybody back there put that thing together. But yeah, we're going to record right after and planning on dropping tomorrow, I think.
Yep, I'm going to edit it tonight because there's different video clips and pictures and just different assets I want to include in the show. So
yeah,
I'll
we
have
were
to take
texting
tonight
back and
to
forth yesterday, and Tyler's got a nice rundown for us. So looking forward to this, talking a little entertainment.
Yep. All right. That's later today being recorded. It'll drop out as soon as Tyler finishes editing it, and that's the next reel available on our platform. Don't forget NASCAR's returning. Right before we talk to Ron Slay, I want to remind you get your tickets for the Jack Links 500 Sunday, April the 27th. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com for all the information you need. Plus, that's the place you get your tickets right there. Or you can call 877-GO-TO-DEGA, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to ask for that upgrade for the garage experience, the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. You can actually get so close. You can hear and smell them working on the cars. In your viewing areas, in the viewing bays there inside the garage, it is the most immersive, up close and personal you can get in NASCAR with that garage pass. Ask for it by name. The garage experience when you buy your tickets. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. All the exciting, unpredictable super speedway racing and all the people watching. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ron Slay's next.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Think about the best summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great t-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect t-shirt for the next perfect southern night. Nextround.store. The memories are waiting.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Heupel Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Heupel are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Heupel Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Heupel Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Don't miss the greatest show in NASCAR, the 2026 Talladega Superspeedway Jack Links 500 Weekend, Friday, April 25th through Sunday, April 27th. Guarantee your Jack Links 500 Weekend experience today at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Have the Talladega Garage Experience Passes, the best way to get the ultimate Talladega experience. Tickets start at just $47 and $18 for kids 12 and under. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We're about to take a sleigh ride with my buddy Ron Slay. Before that, let me tell you how you can be a little lighter on that sleigh with our friends at Way to Wellness. I used to weigh 216 and wear a headband when I shot basketballs. But now I'm down to 178, ready for golf this summer thanks to our friends at Way to Wellness. It works, guys. If you want to jumpstart your weight loss, you can do it at websites aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fees. Your first consultation with Leslie is free. Everything from injection therapy to meal replacements. I eat these protein bars just to keep from bad snacking. It works. It'll work for you too. Way to Wellness, aplanforme.com.
All right, let's go to the Boom Boom Room. Here is Ron Slay at the Ron Slay on social media is where you find him. You see him on the SEC Network and ESPN. What is up, Slay? How are you today, my man?
What's up, guys? Jim, I'm just trying to figure out, man, were you talking about something else or the headband helped you? I think it see me.
The headband helped me. Yes, it got me fired up. It got me fired up.
To move. When you put the headband on, it kind of puts you in a sphere.
Yeah. Yes.
So it kind of You know what I mean? That makes you look slimmer.
I wanted to move from a 4 to a 3 is what I wanted.
There you go.
That's what I wanted.
Okay,
yeah.
so how often do you have the headband on in the boom boom room? And do you get more excited? I know this is weird. You're a former Tennessee volunteer basketball player.
Great at
But
Tennessee.
do you get more excited about football Saturdays in the boom boom room or a college basketball game?
Golly, I'm honest. Okay, I get more excited about the football game in the boom boom room because that means I'm at home enjoying the boom boom room. Basketball, I'm either in the studio or on the road or something, so I don't get to enjoy all of the amenities that I have in here. The other part to that about the headband, what's crazy? You know how people go through the couch and they find change, loose change and stuff, and they cup holders and stuff like. Dude, I got so many headbands laying around. It's crazy. I just found one over here behind my bar, an orange one. I'm gonna have to put that one in my bag and carry that with me during March Madness.
I can just see in college, like some girl's boyfriend comes home and he's digging through the couch and he's like, "Holy shit, Slay's been here." Yeah, here's the headband. I know Slay's been here.
You better know, that's all the protection you needed, baby. Good headband, you're gonna get you through anything. I'm telling you now.
Yeah. I'm not sure protection was the word you wanted to use there, but okay.
Ryan Raw Dog Slay.
All right.
Let the madness begin, baby. March is here.
We will, with that, transition to basketball. Ryan Slay with us on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline. The few things test your toughness, like playing a Rick Barnes Tennessee defense in Knoxville. And for a lot of that game, it looked like these Tennessee-Alabama games always go. Tennessee gets Alabama out of rhythm. Alabama has no answers. They just can't. They play sloppy. They turn it over. And then something clicked. What did that say about Alabama to finish that game the way they did in Knoxville Saturday?
I thought it was great fortitude from this group. A group that's been tested throughout. When you look back on the non-conference schedule, them going on the road, playing in Madison Square, all the way to today. Even going through the Bediako saga, going through Right Sale being in and out of the lineup, LeBaron Fallon missing time. You had Aiden Holloway, Amari. Like, you can go down the list of guys missing time, and then when they get healthy and all of them are together, just how potent they can be. They've been able to find a way to win without guys in the lineup. And a lot of times, man, in low-scoring games, I'm going to give the nod to any opponent that they're playing. The problem is if they can keep it close and they make those runs, they got guys that can close. LeBaron Fallon has been showing that from the beginning of the year to this point. Right Sale shows that he gives them a different type of leadership and stabilizing effect when he's in the game. And I'm going to be honest, man, defensively, they play a little different for me when Wrightsel's in the game. And Aiden Holloway, he's the piece that you always got to need, whether he's a second option, third option, if those guys aren't in, a first option. So for them to go through that game and the guys that you needed to have big games, not have one like Amari Allen, he didn't have a great game. Aiden Sherrill didn't have a great game. So those are guys you kind of depend on. And to find a way to get a win at the end, you got to salute. Now, I understand the elements of guys like Nate Mint going out. I thought that was a big key because to beat a team like Alabama, you got to have something to swing or tilt the scales. And Nate Mint, to me, tilts the scales when they play a team like Alabama because he's a matchup problem.
Slay, I know it's easy to criticize when you don't execute, but the final possession, Phylon makes the shot, Alabama's first lead of the game. Barnes decides to switch there. He goes with length. Not the good decision, right?
I can tell by the reaction, yep.
No, I said it immediately. I was sitting in studio, and it was I'm just saying, man, me and Phylon, we in sync, you know what I mean? Since I gave him the Phylon. I saw it when they switched. I said, no, and started shaking my head. And lo and behold, Phylon did the same thing. He shook his head like, I know they did not just do this. Not for a guy that plays against guys that are guards, that are quicker, sometimes stronger, play better defense, move their feet better than him. And you going to give me a guy 6'11" that's just coming back from injury, who we know isn't all the way healthy, and put him on the island and there's no help? Listen, anytime you get an opportunity to do a move say, okay, that didn't work. Let me reset and go again and another move. You at the offense's mercy. One thing you can always depend on, great defense is going to be beat by better offense any single day of the week. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And Phylon couldn't wait for that moment.
Listen, we understand that Phylon is probably the best NBA talent, Amari Allen, on the team.
Yeah.
But we tabbed Aiden Sherrill a few weeks ago as the most important player because there's not another one like him on the team. He was recruited as a stretch 5. He's not being asked to do that. He's being asked to be more physical down low and not really be a stretch 5. Can you explain to people how hard that is to adjust, and how is he actually adjusting, and how do you think he's doing in his role for this team?
People got to understand it's extremely hard to be able to do that. For one, the way the game is played today, he grew up. He didn't grow into this overnight. He grew up being a stretch guy to be able to get out there from his freshman year. I kept on saying the man was shooting almost 50% from 3. He had a great touch, just didn't get a lot of opportunities, but when he did, he made the most of it. Coming into this year, I thought you could expect with their recruits that they were going to be able to go get out of the portal and freshmen that were coming in. He was going to have an opportunity to play that stretch 4 spot and really space the floor and really come into his own. People got injured. He accepted the role of playing the 5 and started to come about January, coming into SEC play. That's why I thought, man, to bring a guy in like Bediako and then try to figure out where he belongs with them, it's got to be confusing for Aiden Sherrill because he grasped that role and said, you know what, I'll be a low post threat. Now, sometimes it looks awkward because he's learning, but the man knows how to throw his weight around and be physical when he wants to and be able to defend the rim. You bring Bediako in, it stunts him a little bit. He's trying to figure out how you play with him, get him out of the way and put him back in that spot. That's one of the main reasons they are thriving, because people are accepting their role. And he is a guy that's been able to play a little bit without foul trouble too. So just the impact of having him there is a difference than not having him there and being hanging around the perimeter. You don't have that lob threat all the time with him, but man, he understands his role and what to do when he gets that ball, and his touch is nice enough to be able to score down there and give you an impact that you have not had since Nate Oates has been at Alabama.
Ron Slee is with us, ESPN and SEC Network at the Ron Slee on social media. Also 3HL afternoons there in Nashville. They did kill it up there doing sports radio. He's with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Listen, last week after Auburn lost to Oklahoma, Stephen Pearl in his postgame said, you still got guys that aren't studying the game plan. They're not looking at the scouting report. They're not buying in. And this show made the point, look, you're 28 games in, man. If you're still worried about that, that's trouble. And lo and behold, one of your big players misses film or is late for film, and he doesn't start the game in what is a disastrous loss for Auburn. It just feels like you can't pull this out of the ditch right now to me, Slay.
Yeah, and if they do, it's not going to be coach-led for them to pull it out. You're going to have the players rally and say, we're going to do this for some other reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether that be the pride of Auburn, whether that be the pride of the fans, whether that be the pride of yourselves, saying we're too talented to miss the NCAA tournament because we have it right there in our hands. Whether that if that says, hey man, we got to lock in, we can't be missing meetings or discipline, or everybody's, says, we're just gonna sit out. Whatever it is, y'all got to do it together. It's no longer on Pearl. You know who you got. That's why I said, what was it, last week or the week before, when Keyshawn Hall had to sit against Arkansas, I scratched my head and was like, man, that's one of them conversations I think we're going to have behind closed doors, and you're going to be running until your tongue fall out. But I'm not sure if I'm going to sit you in my first year. He chose the discipline route, and kudos to him. But with that route that you're choosing, you're also saying that anybody else falling behind him, it's the same thing. You're going to sit. And that comes with wins and losses too. So it's the decisions being made. But I just believe, man, it's amazing for them to still be in the running for NCAA berth with all these losses that they've taken on the back end of this. And they still got an opportunity to get in there. You got to end it on a high note, man, because you're playing for more than just NCAA berth, you're playing for your future too if you're the players.
You know, it's probably not fair to Steven, but I'll ask the question anyway. How different do you think this season would be with, internally with the guys seemingly taking advantage of Steven right now and just the results of this team now losing 7 of 8 games? How different would it be with Bruce Pearl on both sides?
Yeah, I think one, man, you come in with something that you know. It's different when you move over to that seat as far as Stephen Pearl moving to that head coaching spot. Some of the conversations, some of the relationships automatically change when you're the head guy. The way you deliver things is taken in a little bit differently than it is if you're the assistant or the bridge to the head coach. With Bruce, you already know you get the benefit of the doubt. Okay, if you lose your mind as the head coach as Bruce Pearl, you're giving grace by not only the fans, but the players too. Like, man, he done been there before, man. We'll figure it out, man. It's going to be all right. Trust me, he got a plan. He's got something that's worked before. So you give him a benefit of the doubt and you say, all right, sit back, take it in, and you got the other guys that rally around you. Instead, with a new head coach moving over a spot, now when something is said, the mumbles start to come. And then players start to think, man, you're right, man. He don't know what he's talking about. What is he talking about? He ain't never been there before. Not in that seat. So it's tough on him, man. That's why I think, man, it was a tough situation to be put in. I do think he's done the best with what he's had coming into this spot. I would like to see what it looks like if he gets his guys that he's recruited to be in those spots as a head coach, to know what system you're going to run and what you expect from your guys. But right now, I don't know how you stop this train without saying, hey, man, we all got to get on one accord, or we all got to jump off this thing and everybody go on their own.
This Florida team, compared to what you've seen from the Michigans, the Arizonas, the UConns, the Dukes, can this Florida team repeat as national champions? Are they good enough to do it, specifically in the backcourt?
I tell you what, this right here, it don't take a fool to see this one. It don't take a fool at all to see this one. Absolutely. The way these guys play, one, they're physical as all get out. And there's some physical teams out there. Houston being one, Arizona when healthy, Michigan, as you mentioned. What they don't all have is the length and to be able to interchange in spots. Yaxel Lindeborg is a guy that can be a little wild card to make you question a little bit of that. The difference is these guys got national championship pedigree. They've won it before. They see what it takes to get there and when they got to do it. That's the difference. This team is so good. The reason Thomas Houck would not win SEC Player of the Year is because the guys that are emerging around him, Alex Condon has been phenomenal the last 5 games. Double-doubles, assists, block shots, finishing at the rim. The man's so good right now, he even shooting threes. It went from people saying, no, to let it fly. And then you have Chinyelu, who is a walking, I don't know what this brother here is, man. Like this, I don't know if they made him in a lab or what, and then injected him with something to make him rapidly get better. As far as being able to score, being a guy that's matured mentally, like it's a lot of times though those bumps and hits above the heads, he would have lost his mind. Got a tech, had to go sit down. He's not punishing the team. Han Logden understands his role. The wild card in Thomas Houck. Just those guys alone make this a championship team. But then you add in the luxury of blowing top-ranked teams out and being able to develop a guy like Isaiah Brown coming off the bench, Clavsar coming off the bench, being able to play his role, Xavier Lee being who he is, and Boogie Flan saying, I'm going to be a defensive guy because the scoring is natural. And I'm going to key in on that. Tell y'all what, world. A lot of people was on Todd Golden's shoulders and head last year and didn't want to let up off of him. I know he had some things he was dealing with a little bit off the court. He managed that. Came back, won the championship. This year ain't nothing hanging over his head. And he letting everybody hear about it. He's beating them down every opportunity he gets.
volatile, schizophrenic, easy adjectives for Chad Baker-Mazzara, the former Auburn Tiger. We saw the situation unfold this weekend. He is no longer part of the USC team. Just pure speculation. What do you think happened here?
Man, Chad's one of those guys, man, when you watch him, you're screaming like, man, this dude is irritant. Good gosh, like, why don't he just walk away? But for some reason, and I'm not privy to this, being on his team or coaching him, it's something that's magnetic about him in those locker rooms. And guys love him. Like, I see everybody go to bat for him. So it's got to be something good, being a great person, being a great teammate, and we don't get to see that part. I don't know what it is, but in this situation, it's something happened. Some communication broke down somehow. Chad wasn't happy. Musselman wasn't happy. Something wasn't right. But we all know. We've seen Chad choose his direction and stand on it and take it, regardless if it's wrong or right. And individually, for his personal reasons, he will stay with that. And you know that coming into it. It's like I had a coach, and I thought this was a silly saying at the time. The coach told us in practice, I was a sophomore in high school. He told me, it was a snake about to cross the street. The snake could never get across the street. So me feeling nice, I picked the snake up, put it in my pocket, walked the snake across the street, reached in my pocket to let the snake go, and right before I put it down, it bit me. The snake turned around and looked at him and said, you knew I was a snake before you picked me up and put you in my pocket. So you know what you're getting into. That's all I'm saying with Chad. It's some plus and it's some minuses. Just hope to be on the plus end.
I love good old Southern coach colloquial. I've never been able to say that word. Colloquialism.
Dude, I was sitting there looking at our coach like, what the hell are you talking about, man? I couldn't say nothing because I was a sophomore and I wanted minutes.
He is the Ron Slay on social media. See him on ESPN and the SEC Network throughout the remainder of the college basketball season. Always kind with his time with us from the Boom Boom Room. Thank you, Slay. We appreciate it as always, buddy.
No doubt, baby. Jimmy, I'm looking for a headway. Headband soon, brother. Keep it on.
It's that time of year. That time of year. As soon as I lose another bracket challenge, I'll be in the headband again.
All right, fellas.
Seriously, thank you, Ron Slay, with us on the Alexander Shinora Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And before LT tells us about our friends at Hoover Toyota, a trade has happened in the NFL, and usually when a fifth-round pick moves, it's not that big a deal. But I sort of like this one for the Houston Texans. They're getting David Montgomery from the Lions for a fifth-round draft pick. Now, this guy just dots I's and crosses T's, in my opinion. He's not Jahmyr Gibbs. He's part of that, thunder and lightning combination they had in Detroit. That's a lot of football player for a fifth-round pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, and Woody Marks made a little bit of an impact with that Houston offense. I'm a little confused on why Detroit would trade David Montgomery.
Me too.
Just because it was such a good yin and yang. Gibbs is obviously, your lightning guy that, is the big play guy. But, man, Montgomery got you those tough yards. He could do a lot of things. Good receiver out of the backfield. Very surprising here.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's good for Gibbs, though, right? I mean, he's even more focused on the offense. I mean, I know you're not going to go without a replacement for Montgomery, but to me, it says that the Lions are very, very comfortable with Jahmyr Gibbs being the entire focus, and you bring in a lower-paid player to spell him.
To me, this is all about the Texans.
I agree.
Those are the kind of moves you make that makes you even better when you're in the playoffs.
Well, and you need a closer. You need a guy. I mean, you're going to rely if you're the Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryans, it's going to be all about that championship-level defense. And you saw C.J. Stroud really struggle once they got to the postseason.
There's your problem.
And, you want to get these 13-10 leads, and you want Montgomery to be able to take the air out of the ball.
Yeah, the problem is, in the playoffs, it wasn't the need for David Montgomery for them to advance. I mean, David Montgomery could have rushed for 200 yards in the postseason, and C.J. Stroud was keeping them from advancing.
Hoover Toyota brings you that little update from the NFL where, again, we mentioned it earlier, 3 in a row for Toyota on the NASCAR circuit. They've won them all this year.
How about that? Toyota is rolling right now. And if you are looking for a new car, truck, SUV, go see our friends at Hoover Toyota, conveniently located Highway 150. Just a fabulous staff there. They are serving Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia. Their inventory offers a fantastic selection. Their on-site finance department provides affordable financing options. Even after the keys to your new vehicle are in your hands, they are there to serve you with the service and parts department, committed to keeping your vehicle running smoothly. When you shop with our friends at Hoover Toyota, they want to keep you as a customer for life. That's why they offer the Red Carpet program, give you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing shopping experience with the referral program. Get in, see Scott, Harold, Kim. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. Conveniently located right there on Highway 150. I'm in a Toyota. My daughter's in a Toyota. Ex-wife's in a Toyota. View their inventory and great pricing today. Go to hoovertoyota.com.
Hey, back for a limited time with our friends at Bojangles is the Bojangler and the Bojangler Deluxe. Alaskan pollock filet with Bo's famous seasoning. The Deluxe adds pickles, lettuce, tomato, cheese, and tartar sauce. You could start your day putting up threes with a triple-double biscuit with triple the protein. Sausage, egg, and bacon, double the cheese, all on a scratch-made biscuit. Try that one or any of Bojangles biscuits, like the ham biscuit, 2 for $5 right now at your local Bojangles, with a new iced coffee for a slam dunk way to start your day and finish every day the way you should with a brand new strawberry cobbler, all at your local Bojangles, where you can always make it bow time.
Happy birthday, Gene Stallings, in our tender moment of the day. Coach Stallings, 91 years old today. Obviously, 1992 national championship coach. The first national championship for Alabama post Bear Bryant, and the only one between Bear Bryant and Nick Saban. Gene Stallings, underappreciated by Alabama fans?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I thought he was a good coach. I never thought he was an elite coach. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, won a national championship in '92, had some good years, but good coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think Alabama fans still hold him in high regard. I would say the difficult thing about coaching in a place like Alabama is you could have the type of success that Gene Stallings had, and you're the 5th best coach in Alabama history, and that's what's going to happen when you coach at a place like Alabama. He was a successful coach, a good coach, but I think by any measurement you use, Wallace Wade, Frank Thomas, Bear Bryant, and Nick Saban are all in front of Gene Stallings in the pecking order. But Gene Stallings has that statue outside Bryant-Denny Stadium, and they don't give those things away. You got to earn that one, and he earned it.
Yeah, 91 years old, and for a while, man, that picture right there, that was Alabama football for a long, long time until Nick Saban changed that. That was the glory years.
Yeah, the one thing, Lance,
it changed dramatically.
It did. He brought Alabama back to glory, and it's funny. I was telling Brooks the other day. I can't even remember. Oh, we were talking about Brooks was doing his research on last time power teams had won their conference. And I said, a lot of people would guess Purdue, but keep in mind, Drew Brees and Joe Tiller went to the Rose Bowl. And Brooks pointed out that was a bad Purdue team. I was like, oh, yeah, they were like 8-4. They'd gotten beat by Notre Dame and all these teams. But I was telling Brooks how back in the day, before you had a conference championship game, when you finished in a tie, the team that had least recently been to the Rose Bowl would go. And the SEC used to do it, too. It's why Alabama was in the Sugar Bowl after they lost the game at Jordan-Hare. They had been the team that had the longest drought. And Brooks couldn't believe that's the way they used to do it. But that shows you what Alabama football had become. They went to this is not the one we were talking about here, but the 1990 Sugar Bowl after the 89 season because Tennessee and Auburn had been since then. Alabama used to own the Sugar Bowl.
But you remember what a gap that seemed like from 79 winning a national championship to 92.
It was the desert.
And now you're basically halfway there if you're an Alabama fan. I mean, it sounds crazy, but you are. I mean, from 2020 to 2026 now.
But it took Gene Stallings coming back, and he got him back in that position. And they were contenders for other national championships. Man, that 94 team was undefeated, lost to Florida in the championship game. They weren't going to get to play for it. But they were going to be in the discussion.
But the 91 team that ended up going, I think, to the Blockbuster Bowl and beat Colorado, how they came in, they got dominated by Florida.
It was like 35-0.
And then I think Barker came in and kind of took the team over. But you saw what they were able to do with defense. You had a special player in David Palmer, and then it carried over to the next year. I'll never forget there was one publication that had Alabama the preseason number 1.
In what
92?
In 92.
Sporting News.
It was Sport Magazine. You remember
Sport
Magazine?
Yeah, it was Sport.
Yeah.
There was always one magazine that would go out and try to pick a wild card.
That's right, to get publicity.
Yeah.
Hey, they were right.
They were right. And then you had the one guy. Who was the guy? Corky
Simpson. He was the Tucson newspaper, whatever their newspaper was, right? Didn't he get in trouble because he came and he rode in the parade? They had the national championship parade, and the AP took his vote away from him.
Gave him key to the city.
Yeah.
The 93 team is one of those, just like 2010 Alabama, 93 Alabama, with all those parts back coming off a national championship. You just always wonder. Obviously, it was the Antonio Langham distraction and suspension. And
Jay got hurt.
Jay got hurt a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he missed a lot of games. They ended up having to start
Brian Bergdorf,
and then he was ineffective. I remember one game in particular. It was that loss to LSU, I think. It got so bad that David Palmer basically had to take over and play quarterback. I mean, it was a makeshift offense.
Yeah, and then same way with 2010 Alabama with all those players back, Julio, Mark Ingram, Greg McElroy, that team ended up not doing more than it ended up doing. All right, Gene Stallings, tender moment of the day. Happy birthday, Coach. 91 today. Show being brought to you by great friends at Odie's. These guys will be back for trivia on Wednesday.
Odie's, a great place to come out for lunch, dinner, or just come out and join us every Wednesday night, the original location at Crestline for Odie's Team Trivia. But you can enjoy that outside dining. Beautiful spring weather is here. Either location, the original Crestline, newest location right there in Edgewood. Great food from Rodney Davis for almost 4 decades now. The award-winning wings, delicious burgers, fantastic sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light. Get it in and see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
Great place to celebrate any win or forget any loss. Our friends at Culver's. You can enjoy that juicy butter burger right there at Culver's. Those crispy crinkle-cut fries, gooey golden cheese curds. And cap it off the way you always should at Culver's with that fresh, creamy, frozen custard. It's a great place to go and get welcomed to Delicious. And when in Birmingham, you visit the Culver's right there at Stadium Trace, and Highway 150 near the Hoover Met, the Highway 280 location right there at Tattersall Park. Those are your 2 great Culver's locations in Birmingham. Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality, legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Heupel Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Heupel are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Heupel Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Heupel Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobile One Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
We roll on here. We'll get to 4 downs in a second. After I tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, your chance to stay on top of your health, guys. We talk to you all the time about prostate health, everything from prostate health to kidney stones. That's what Urology Centers of Alabama is known for. In the middle of that is testosterone testing and treatment there. As you age a little bit, guys, your testosterone levels become an issue. If you're looking for testosterone treatment, they've got that for you. Vasectomies, reversals. That prostate health is so important. Find out everything they offer by going to their website, urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, or calling 205-930-0920. 10 locations, great urologists in Central Alabama to take care of you. Over 70 years of compassionate care. urologycentersalabama.com, and our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt, bringing you 4 downs today.
That's who brings it to you every single day, Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. You're riding along one of Alabama's great roads, and you see road work being done. One of the big state, federal government, municipal roadway projects. Chances are you're seeing a crew from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction do it. So that speaks highly of how good they are at doing what they do, right? They get those big contracts. But you're probably also thinking, well, that means they can't do my driveway, my parking pad, my private job, maybe a community center or a church parking lot. That is where you're wrong. They've got an entire dedicated division focused entirely on those types of jobs, from highways to neighborhoods. Central Alabama Asphalt, client-oriented, quality-focused, built to deliver. To get an estimate or to find out the opportunities they have, you can call 205-349-0910. That's 205-349-0910. Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction.
First down.
Man, we have a ton of celebrity birthdays today. We start first in the world of sports. Tua Tagovailoa, 28 years old today. Reggie Bush, 41. Ultimately, the better career, Tua or Reggie Bush?
I mean, Tua has led the NFL in passing. I would say Tua had the better NFL career. Bush had the better college career. Though Tua was really, really good in college, he wasn't Reggie Bush good in college.
Yeah, not a lot of people were.
No.
I mean, Bush did win a Heisman. Tua came close.
Yeah, I'm gonna edge Tua Tagovailoa, but this is really tough. I'll go slight edge Tua.
I think am I wrong saying the legacy of Reggie Bush is going to be different just because of how electric he was?
Probably so, and I mean he's going to be remembered for being a dynamic college player that Tua's just not going to be remembered for, and I don't know why.
Well, Reggie Bush won championship, so I'll go Reggie Bush.
Yeah. We never give Tua credit for the championship he came off the bench and won.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that he gets credit for that among people.
He doesn't. He was not the primary starter.
I know,
so that's why he gets overlooked a lot with that. They don't win it without him.
I still give him more credit than Jalen Hurts.
Well, I mean, they don't win the championship without him coming off the bench, and I think anybody with a brain knows he could have had them in that same situation had he started all year. So But he doesn't get the credit like Bush does for winning a championship. I'd still edge Tua, but it's really close.
Bush won 2 at USC, and then one was taken away.
Yep.
And his Heisman was taken away too, but he got that back.
But he wasn't part of the 03 team, right?
Yeah, 03, well, no, 04, 05. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he won one, and then they lost one to Vince Young.
Yeah. Before we go to second down, just wanted to say Reggie Bush, one of 5 guys to win a Heisman, national championship, and a Super Bowl.
Ooh. Okay, I may have to go. I may have to go back to Reggie Bush.
Didn't do that with the Saints.
I think I'm going to go Reggie Bush now. That convinced me. Thank you, Brooks.
Second down.
Luke Combs, 36 years old today. Chris Martin, 49 from Coldplay. Better career, Luke Combs, Chris Martin.
I think it will end up being Luke Combs. I think Coldplay's got a bit of a head start on him right now, so I'll go Coldplay, or I'll go Chris Martin. Luke
Plus,
Combs.
Coldplay music plays everywhere. Restaurants, elevators. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where it is. They'll make money on it.
Yeah, you're right about that. Luke Combs going a little bit more mainstream than just country. Fast Car was a mainstream hit. That's far from a country song, though he, gave it a little country twang to it. I will say eventually Dunaway, Luke Combs over Chris Martin, but probably right now Chris Martin has the lead.
Sounds good to me. I'll take Luke Combs just to argue the other side of it. I mean, other than Morgan Wallen.
I mean, he's a top probably 3, 4, 5 guy right now in country music.
Oh, other than Morgan Wallen and Zach Bryan, he's probably next at filling up stadiums. And then
Jelly Roll's right up there as far as a star, but I don't think he's to Luke Combs level yet.
Yeah, no, I'd go Luke Combs, at least in my genre.
Yeah, but I think Coldplay for a minute might have been the biggest band on the planet for a minute. They're still pretty massive. I think easily it's Chris Martin right now, but could be.
But here's the way the world works, though. Do you know for a lot of the younger generation what Coldplay is most going to be remembered for?
That affair video.
The incident, yeah.
Probably.
I mean, that's unfortunate for them because they've put out some really good music. But there's going to be a lot of this generation, this younger generation, that when you say Coldplay, honestly, when you said Chris Martin, it's the first thing that popped in my mind. But I really think the young generation, that's what they'll remember Coldplay for.
Third down.
Ben Roethlisberger, 44 years old. Daniel Craig, 58. Better career, Big Ben or Daniel Craig? Now, I'm going to go Daniel Craig because he was 007, and I think he was the best 007, but Timothy Dalton was also 007.
Well, I mean, then I could say, well, Tommy Maddox was also a Steelers quarterback, if you want to play that game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think James Bond could play for the Steelers, but Ben Roethlisberger couldn't save the world the way James Bond does.
Interesting train of thought on that one.
And I think Daniel Craig's a really good actor. The problem is when you play a part like James Bond, a lot of times you get typecast, and he has started to do probably the Knives Out has been at least the bigger franchise commercially that he's been attached to. But if you go back and watch his work in Road to Perdition, Layer Cake, I mean, he is a really, really good actor and just a cool guy.
Yeah. I think I'll go Daniel Craig. I mean, I'm not sold on this one. Big Ben had a good NFL career. I think I'll go Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I'll go Daniel Craig on this one, sure.
Fourth down.
Okay, big one's here. Dr. Seuss would have been, how old would Dr. Seuss? He would have been 122 today. And on the other side, John Bon Jovi is 64. Hard to believe John Bon Jovi is almost a senior citizen. But ultimately, better career. Was it Bon Jovi or Dr. Seuss?
For me, Bon Jovi. I enjoyed his music more than I did Dr. Seuss's books.
I like John Bon Jovi's music.
He's finally, a lot of rock stars don't want to accept age.
Yeah.
And if you saw him at the Super Bowl, he's like, to hell with it. I'm full gray. I'm just going to embrace this.
Oh, I'm sure the women still love it, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Good looking guy, right?
I've heard he has lost his voice a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. I think, was it Sam Bora that had to cover him a little bit, maybe?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, the influence, though, with Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss's influence is tremendous. I mean, how long ago did he write those books? And they are still read to kindergartners today.
Yeah, and The Grinch That Stole Christmas is never going
That's
away,
right.
is it?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go Dr. Seuss
Yeah,
here.
I think Dr. Seuss will have a longer-lasting impact. But I'm kind of like Dunaway. If I have to sit and listen to one right now, it's going to be Bon Jovi, not a Dr. Seuss book.
I mean, is it Slippery When Wet or The Grinch That Stole Christmas?
Which one's bigger?
Better masterwork.
Better masterwork. I like Slippery When Wet. I mean, I didn't really care for The Grinch That Stole Christmas. I mean,
I didn't either.
That's not my favorite of the Dr. Seuss works, honestly.
The first Dr. Seuss book was published in 1937. It was And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street.
I bet, Dunaway, when you were in TV, you got asked to come read to elementary schools. Did you ever do that?
On Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Did you
Usually
do it,
on
though?
days like this? Yeah, several times.
Yeah. Which one? Do you know which one you would pick? Or would they pick it for you?
Yertle the Turtle, I did mostly.
Yertle the Turtle?
That was a good one.
I don't remember that one. I remember if I bought a zoo. Apparently, my mom used to read that to me all the time and said I had it memorized. And I could say it along with her.
Was it
just
one
remember.
fish, blue fish, two fish?
Yeah, I was not a big fan of that one.
Yeah, I did. Something green and
One
bacon,
fish,
eggs.
two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Green eggs and ham.
Green eggs and ham.
Sam I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a eccentric guy.
That's our four downs today, brought to you by great sponsors like Central Alabama Asphalt. But you know, a company that'll help you hit that asphalt this summer is our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com. Johnston RV Center, Browning.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find Johnston RV Center. You can go see America in an RV from Johnston RV. Everything for those Cherokee Arctic Wolves on up the line. You could shop by price right there at Johnston RV Center. You could go set it, say, I want under $30,000, or I want something that is high-end, high-priced. You could get that at Johnston RV. You could shop by the type of RV as well at Johnston RV Center. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Hey, and no shock here, but Friday afternoon, I swung by the Greystone location of the New York Butcher Shop and picked up steaks for me, Maddie, and Jack. The fresh meats, the incredible sides made in-house. Don't forget about the fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts as well. Great staff of butchers. 2 locations, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
NFL Combine over the weekend. Ty Simpson came in at 6'1" and 1/8 inches tall, but he put on a throwing clinic of throwing the football. Everything I read, Lance, he has cemented himself as QB2 in this draft.
Yeah, and I think, the Raiders are in a interesting situation because you really can't pass on Mendoza, but I think they're kind of like, is Mendoza that much better than the upside of a guy like Ty Simpson? The only thing, and you mentioned his size, the only thing that franchises are worried about is he is on the slight side right now, and they're worried about the durability. Is his frame at 6'1" and 6'1" plus? At 215 pounds, can he take a 17-game regular season beating?
By the way, Fernando Mendoza, 6'4" 3/4 inches, so that much taller, and 236 pounds as opposed to 211 for Ty Simpson. That's a big difference.
Yeah, Daniel Jeremiah was singing his praises Sunday on the NFL Network.
Ty Simpson's?
Yes, our buddy DJ talking about him, the way he's throwing the football, his delivery, but primarily his footwork. DJ was like, the thing I love most about Ty Simpson is his footwork.
Quiet feet,
clean feet. He could not say enough nice things about Ty Simpson. I saw another guy, Tony Pauline, who's not as big a name as DJ or Mel Kiper or any of those guys, but Tony Pauline has been covering the NFL draft for a very, very long time, and I follow him on social media, and he was talking about Ty Simpson, and he said, in his opinion, Ty Simpson has locked himself in the top 12, which is a drastic improvement from where a lot of the discussion about Simpson has been.
That was more than Daniel Jeremiah and the folks at NFL Network said. They say he's the second quarterback first or second round.
Yeah, top 12. I'll give you the top 12. So these would be, if he is in fact locked in the top 12, he'll be on one of these teams. The Raiders, the Jets.
Okay, he's not going to be on the Raiders because they're going to take Mendoza. Jets are a possibility.
They're a possibility.
Two seems way too high.
Yeah, the problem is the Jets have pick 16, and that's not a problem, but that's more likely where he would go. The Cardinals, who are going to need to address quarterbacks somehow, maybe not through the draft.
If I'm the Cardinals, I'm looking, but not at 3. I think you do want to address quarterback. You have to with Kyler Murray. I mean, inevitably, it seems like he's gone.
The Titans, who are not addressing quarterback. The Giants, who are not addressing quarterback. The Browns, who have all the quarterbacks but still need a quarterback somehow. Washington, who's not addressing quarterback. New Orleans, who I don't think is.
I think they're very happy with Tyler Shock.
Kansas City, who's certainly not. Cincinnati, who is certainly not. Miami, who's going to have to at some point. And the Cowboys, who are not. So if you're locked into the top 12, unless somebody trades in there, you're going to be Jets, Browns, Dolphins in all likelihood.
Well, and let's just push it to 13. The Rams' first pick from the Atlanta Falcons is at 13. They are in need of the quarterback of the future. If I'm Matt Stafford, I really don't want the Rams to take a flyer on Ty Simpson at 13 because I want immediate help and getting over the hump and getting back to a Super Bowl and ultimately winning another championship. But I do think the Rams are in play, and how they package up picks, and the same thing could be for the Jets. He is going in the first round, and he's going in the top half of the first round, and it's only getting better and better for Ty Simpson.
Also great news for our buddy Jeremy Bernard. 4.4840, which was better than he was expected to run. So it's always good when they expect you to run one thing, and because a lot of these guys come to practices and such like that, and other pro days in the past, they have a feel on what Jerm's going to run, and he came in faster than expected. Strong hands. The folks at NFL.com says he's a top 50 selection, and in this deep wide receiver draft to go in the top 50 says a lot about Bernard.
Yeah, I would have said if he doesn't get hurt earlier this year, there's a chance he's in the first round, back half of the first round. I think we all kind of at least speculated that was going to be the case earlier this season. Yeah, I mean, he could ultimately be a steal in the second round. I didn't realize he would have that top end speed either.
Me either.
But to your point, that shows you just probably how infrequently we saw him 100% healthy.
Well, and my favorite running back, Malachi Lemon, apparently his interviews were awful.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that will drop him. You wonder purposely if he does this because there's some organizations he doesn't want to go to.
But apparently it was a disaster, though, when you read the reports that his in-person interviews did not go well.
Back to the speed thing, though. Mississippi State wide receiver Brennan Thompson was a 4.26 40. Taylon Green, quarterback, 4.36 40, was great on the vertical jump. So much so that they were discussing during the combine about if you're targeting anybody about a position change, it would be interesting to see if NFL teams talk to Taylon Green about moving to wide receiver.
Man, if you had him at 6'6", if he's got hands, I don't know if he does or doesn't. You know this, that a lot of kids, when they're in middle school, high school, even college, they want to play the glamorous position of quarterback. But if he can make that transition in wide receiver money right now, I mean, his workout was absolutely fantastic. And again, 6'6", with his ability to separate. I just don't know what his hands are like, but I definitely would take a look at that.
Well, I mean, we've seen it work and not work. Like Antoine Randall, it worked. He was a quarterback at Indiana, ended up being a really good receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And he's also a bonus position player at that point. You could be emergency 3 quarterback.
That's right. Yeah, or, they can always scheme up plays or have the threat of scheming up plays. Then you saw Matt Jones, who was...
Could have been good. I think there was something. Obviously, he got in a little trouble off the field.
Yeah.
But the former Arkansas quarterback goes in the first round of the Jacksonville Jaguars because of the upside. And he had moments. I don't know what didn't work there. But it is interesting that he's a former Arkansas quarterback, too.
I know. Yeah, it's the first thing I thought of when Jim started talking about Taylon Green. I'm like, well, Matt Jones had to do it. I mean, but he went in the first round, to your point. Like, Jacksonville said, this guy is just so athletic. We've never seen him really play receiver, but he is so fast. I mean, you don't remember how fast he was when he would break the pocket.
I remember watching a game, out-of-conference game against Texas.
Yeah.
And him just running all over
down
Texas.
the field. Yeah, and they were like, he is so fast and athletic and big, we'll make a receiver out of him, and it never really clicked for him.
Jeremiah Love was off the charts this weekend, a 4.36 40. The same speed as Jahmyr Gibbs, who is known for getting out of the back door and catching passes and doing great things. Jeremiah Love cashed a check this weekend.
Oh, look, he's by far going to be the first running back off the board. His running mate there at Notre Dame, Tadarian Price, is probably going to be running back number 2. They're saying Mike Washington out of Arkansas, based on how he measured and what he was able to do in the 40, that he could ultimately be running back 3, which is very interesting. He did average 6.5 yards per carry.
I'll give you guys a chance to take back Genty for Jeremiah Love. You said last week that Genty was your guy.
Yeah, I would definitely take Genty. I mean, I like Jeremiah Love a lot. There's a lot of people that believe the 2 best players in this draft are Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Love. You just typically don't take safeties or running back that early. But I think Love's going to be fantastic. I still would take Genty. I mean, the problem for Genty is he went to a shitty organization, and the Raiders and the offensive line was awful this year.
Maybe he's about to get a good quarterback in front of him. And that's the thing. The reason I went Genty is you never know where Love's going to go. I mean, if he goes to the right guards, like
the fear around the league, and this is not me saying, but the NFL Network saying the fear around the league is that Jeremiah Love is going to drop 9th to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, no. That is, I can
see the
league being feared about that.
Jeremiah Love out of that backfield. They get some receiver help. They may get Tyreek Hill back. Yeah. That they think Jeremiah Love in an Andy Reid system would be really, really good for the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, they went first round with Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU after that great 2019 season. That was so-so. I mean, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was okay.
He didn't live up to a first-round pick, though.
Isaiah Pacheco was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't had that guy. It would be interesting because I think we all would agree, as good as Mahomes is, he's lost a little bit. And so I think you need more weapons offensively if Kansas City is going to be able to make another run. I don't know if they will.
Kelsey is not declared yet, right?
No,
what he's
not
doing.
yet.
So if Kelsey comes back, and if Love is that good, you add Tyreek Hill back, all of a sudden everybody's going to feel like, wait a minute, the band's back together here. Even though it is different parts, the band's back together. This feels like the teams that.
Well, and the AFC is wide open. I mean, look, you guys really believe the New England Patriots are going to be back there again this year?
Nope.
I do not.
Carnell Tate had a modest 40 time, but they said it will not hurt his draft stock. He'll still be a first-round guy. But we could see 3 Ohio State Buckeyes in the first 5 picks. Sonny Styles was off the charts this weekend, and you could get Caleb Arvell and Sonny Styles, 3 defensive guys in the first 5 picks.
Yeah, I would not surprise me at all. I've seen Sonny Styles fall to like 15 or 16. I would love to see the Rams take a flyer with that kid. I watched, I don't know how much of the combines you guys got to watch, but I made sure I watched Caden Proctor run yesterday. Just watching his size, he only ran a 5.22, but the vertical was incredible for Caden Proctor. The arms were longer than a lot of organizations thought. So I've seen Proctor move up into the top 15 of this draft.
Yeah, these arm measurements are crazy because that's what's hurting Ruben Bain right now. He is listed, a lot of people have him listed as a loser in the winner-loser category of the combine because apparently he had short arm measurement. Who did you quote earlier before the show when I brought this up? Tyler Siskey.
Tyler Siskey said, man, short arms or not, look at the tape, man.
Yeah, like he had the same short arms playing the top level of competition in the college football playoff, and how'd he do there?
Couldn't block him.
His arms didn't grow for the college football playoffs. They were still short. I mean, I tell you what, if Miami drafted Ruben Bain, I'd be so excited about that. Like, just as far as a pure player, I don't care about short arms.
May get 2 tight ends in the first round, Kenyon Sadiq and Eli Stowers. Is that saying
Stowers. Yeah.
I always go Stowers.
Yeah, but Eli Stowers is such a interesting guy because a former quarterback. You saw the impact he had on that Vanderbilt offense. And the measurables you knew were going to be really good in Indianapolis. Sadiq is locked in the first round. But what you can do with versatile tight ends, I mean, you look at what Tyler Warren was able to do in year 1 with the Colts, Brock Bowers in his 2 years when he's been healthy for the Raiders. I mean, these guys, you just can't find those kind of hybrid, really, really good, exceptional tight ends. But both of those guys fit that category.
Combine weekend is in the books now, some personal workouts, and then a little over almost 2 months away, a month and 3 weeks away from the NFL draft. Michelson, with that look at the combine, you can really clear up the way your vision looks with the best laser eye surgery in town.
205-969-8100. I got the procedure done in 2003. Still have the 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They are going to make sure that you are a proper candidate for the LASIK procedure. Again, Dr. Michelson, the first to perform the procedure in the state of Alabama in 1995. Make the call that I made. Tell them the next round sent you, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Don't miss the greatest show in NASCAR, the 2026 Talladega Superspeedway Jack Links 500 weekend, Friday, April 25th through Sunday, April 27th. Guarantee your Jack Links 500 weekend experience today at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Have the Talladega Garage Experience Passes, the best way to get the ultimate Talladega experience. Tickets start at just $47 and $18 for kids 12 and under. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Sterling and the crew down there was having a tamale discussion yesterday on the way back from the golf course with my buddy Ben. He says, I love tamales. I said, well, have I got a good place for you to go? The Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and my friend Mike in the truck says, I love the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. That's why I like Champy so much. He's a Mississippi guy. He says you can't find real good Mississippi Delta recipe tamales anywhere in the area except at Champy's Chicken. Go by there, Highway 119 in Alabaster, and see Sterling and the crew for the tamales. But the chicken is there as well. Brined overnight, cooked to order. Hand-cut chicken fingers, all the great sides. It's Champy's Chicken. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by there and see our buddy Sterling and the crew at Champy's Chicken. Lunch, dinner, happy hour, it's always there. Before we get back to basketball, last night, Josh Pate on his show, 8 most hated teams in college football. I've got his 8 here. I can go over it with you in a second. But if I asked you the 8 most hated teams in college football in your head, LT, who do the fans hate the most in yours?
Yeah, it's
Brownie.
It's always teams that are good. So you got to start with Ohio State. I think Alabama's still going to be on this list. I think Georgia's going to be on this list. I'm not going to be surprised if Miami is back on this list from our days of youth and where Miami is right now. I would lean there'd be on there. I think Notre Dame's probably still on there.
Win or lose, Notre Dame's always on this list.
Then it gets a little more difficult. Like those 5, I feel like are locked in.
Did you say Michigan?
My 4 automatic is
Alabama.
My 4 automatics are Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, and Notre Dame.
I would say. Did you say Texas?
I did not.
I think Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami. I agree with you on. I need 2 more.
Do you agree with Notre Dame?
Did I say Notre Dame? Yeah, definitely Notre Dame. Yeah, Notre Dame's 100% on there. And they're one that is on their win or lose. Like, for whatever reason, that Notre Dame brand is very polarizing. And I think people think they get special treatment that they have not earned.
For me, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame are automatic. And then I'm with you on Texas. That's next because it feels like they've got everything. They talk a lot. And as you guys point out, they never back up their talk. LSU is on the board for me because of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is probably public enemy number 1 when you're just looking at the face of college football.
So do you think LSU was on there with Brian Kelly or no?
Not nationally, I don't think so.
No, because they haven't won in a while.
They haven't. LSU, to me, is kind of like the drunk uncle. Like, there are times he really gets on your nerves, but then there are times you just sit back and you tell the stories of what he did at last year's Thanksgiving and you laugh about them.
Because he's entertaining.
Oregon is on that list for me because of the perceived Nike money.
Yep.
And they just have all that Nike money.
You know, Oregon's kind of like Texas, though. They don't win anything. So, if they start winning, they definitely are on there. But I think Oregon probably is.
And then my 8th team to slide in now because they've won it all now.
Indiana?
Is Indiana.
Well, they're going to get there. I don't think they're there yet, but they will get there.
They might. They're probably there for us because we hung out with their fans a lot.
That fan base is a lot.
And it's a very, very confident fan base that had never won anything. And I think the more they win moving forward, they're going to get really, really obnoxious like a lot of winning programs do. Is Indiana in the top 8?
These are Josh Pate's 8.
Oh, okay.
And this is by his fans right here. That was my 8. Here's his 8. Notre Dame 1, Alabama 2, Texas 3, LSU 4, Miami 5, USC 6, Michigan 7, and Ohio State 8.
I don't get it for USC.
I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, USC has been largely irrelevant over the last 20 years.
I loved it in the Pete Carroll days because everyone hated USC.
I do think they were hated in the Pete Carroll days, and I think a little bit like Miami, if Lincoln Riley can get them back in the playoffs again, they'll get back up there. But I just think USC is kind of off the radar right now for a lot of people.
Maybe it's Lincoln Riley. Like Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley probably is on this list, right?
Yeah, probably so.
Now, I found it interesting, he opens it up. Who the most hated team in college football is blank, and you viewers respond. But to me, Miami's not there for me now yet. Close. Indiana's there for me now because they've been like the darlings. And you go very quickly from being the darling to being hated like that, usually when you win a championship like they've done. But Cignetti if you're not an Indiana fan, can wear you out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of this is head coach. I mean, obviously Lane Kiffin. I think Cristobal is one of those guys. I don't think people love him.
I think Michigan and Ohio State way too low.
Oh,
at
yeah.
7 and 8.
USC and LSU too high for me. Michigan, Ohio State too low for me. I'm not even sure. I wouldn't have USC in it. I disagree with Pate on that one. And if I had, LSU would be very low.
But Michigan with Jim Harbaugh is very high.
Yeah.
It feels different with Kyle Whittingham.
I agree. I think people don't even know what they think about.
Yeah,
Kyle
and I think I don't know about you guys, Marcus Freeman softens the Notre Dame blow.
A little bit.
You know, we were kind of taught and conditioned everybody that if you didn't pull for Notre Dame growing up and you were a college football fan, you pulled against them and you hated them. But Marcus Freeman has kind of softened the blow.
I've said it. Marcus Freeman in my lifetime is the only Notre Dame coach you like. That's not to say you dislike all of them, but the ones you didn't dislike were just irrelevant. Like Tyrone Willingham, Charlie Weiss, Bob Davie, those guys, you didn't like them, you didn't hate them. They were just kind of Notre Dame's coach. They were there. Lou Holtz became a villain. People did not like Lou Holtz because he was the Notre Dame coach, and they just didn't like Lou Holtz. So Marcus Freeman's like the first one in my lifetime that you actually like. And I think he would be the first one, you know, when we do the presidential approval, I think he would be the first one in our lifetime that would have presidential approval. Like I would imagine people did not like Ara Parsegian back in the day. That was before my time, that he was kind of unlikable. I don't know.
Oh, I would again, everybody that wasn't a Notre Dame fan probably couldn't stand him.
Yeah, and they were good back then. I mean, that was back when they were good. So I do think I'm with Lance. I think he softens Notre Dame a bit. Marcus Freeman does.
San Jose State is the fill-in game for USC to open up the college football season. Remember, we talked about it last week. They had that TBD there. San Jose State says, we will fill the to-be-determined game for you guys. So basically it's San Jose State in place of the Notre Dame game on the USC schedule, though they'll open up the season on August the 29th. It'll be 13 games for San Jose State this year because they do have a Hawaii game that allows them to play that. But San Jose State is the addition for USC. Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing gets us back to basketball. Greg and Andrea and that team is still out there working in the Trussville, Leeds, Moody area after that bad storm last week, still helping the roof repairs out in that area, helping you file your insurance claims. If you're still in that area and you need help, 205-542-3531. Don't forget, anytime they will do a free no-cost roof inspection for you. 205-542-3531. It's just part of the business that they run there. Locally owned for over 20 years, A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. But Greg, especially in a storm like you just have, always says, call me first, text me first, get on my list to swing by your house, because he works so closely with these insurance providers. He knows how to sort of help you through the process there at Storm Restoration Roofing. Builder's license, so he can help rebuild some during the storm damage repairs, but roof replacements and so much more. 205-542-3531, stormrestorationroofing.com. All right, let's go cut 5. Stephen Pearl he's on the ropes right now. Auburn's losing. They're slipping out of the NCAA tournament conversation, though they're not there yet. Explain to me, though, why coach after coach after coach continue to say this about Stephen Pearl. Here's Chris Beard, head coach Ole Miss.
Coach, what did you see for tonight from Stephen Pearl, young coach in this league, taking over, a tournament team last year? It seemed like he had a decent plan for you tonight. You guys were prepared for it. But can you comment on Stephen in his first year?
Yeah, I'm on the record, and I'll say it again. I think Stephen's doing a really good job. I understand that ultimately the win-loss record is where most people go first, but you're talking about getting a job late into the spring, or was it even early summer, fall? I think he's doing a good job. They're more than competitive in this league. Got some great wins on their resume. I think I got a lot of respect for Stephen, and I think he's doing a good job here. And if I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't say it.
If I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't say it. Chris Beard, there have been others that have come up and said he's doing a good job. That's what leads me to think that Stephen's doing a good job. Ultimately, like you said, you're judged by the wins and losses.
Look, I know there's grifters out there in every form, fashion that can make you think they're an expert at something, but just being around Stephen, us talking to Stephen, like the analytics, the way he carries himself, he knows basketball. He has a very intelligent basketball mind. I do think when you put a coach on the spot, it's a fraternity. They're never going to talk bad about a coach. But Stephen has just had deck stacked this year, and I think a lot of these guys do feel sorry for him, in the fact that you're following your father, you're following one of the best to ever do it, and then you've got what seems to be things that, are kind of out of his control. Like if everybody was pulling together, I mean, look, organizations don't work unless you've got people pulling the same way. When you've got division and people pulling the other way, completely can go off the rails, and I think you've seen that this year.
The thing that moves me the least on coaches is other coaches taking their back. Biggest fraternity out there. I have never in my life heard a coach get asked about another coach say, you know what, I think he's doing a pretty crappy job. Honestly, I think his offense sucks. I don't know what they're doing on defense.
Even Chris Beard. You think Chris Beard would sit there and say nice things even if he didn't believe it?
100%.
It would be. I mean, I can't remember the last time. It would be a major headline if any coach said anything negative about another coach.
Because what Chris Beard knows is one day I could be in that same situation, and I hope the coach I just lost to is sitting at the dais, the press conference. I don't know why I use the phrase dais, the press conference table, saying the exact same thing. Not calling Chris Beard a liar. I'm just saying Chris Beard was doing the nice thing that you do in a coaching fraternity is you always get the guys back when he's under fire.
And I do think he's a candid guy, but I don't know what else you can say.
Yeah, but I mean, he's put in an impossible spot right there because if he no comments it, everybody assumes, God, he thinks he's terrible and he didn't want to say it. If he kills Stephen Pearl, he puts a dagger in Stephen Pearl because there are a lot of Auburn fans that like that guy wearing the AU if it's not Stephen Pearl. So he can only answer the question one way, and that's to say nice things about him.
Nate Oates said last week he enjoys his conversation with Stephen Pearl. He's not as political as his father.
Yeah, that was a funny line.
And towards the end, and that was my question. Bruce, it was a late retirement. Bruce was doing a lot of other things after that Final Four last year. I wonder how much fell through the cracks because Bruce wasn't in charge of the program. He was doing other things.
Yeah, I mean.
Now, nobody wants to talk about that because Bruce took him to 2 Final Fours. He's beloved, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, the timing might have, back to Chris Beard's point, it was kind of a shorter window than most get.
And maybe Stephen knew all along he was going to take over.
But did the players, you know?
I just what was not getting done in the offseason that needed to be done that makes you a better basketball team in March.
So the question I think would be so Pettiford is the only meaningful holdover, right, on this entire roster?
He's the only
holdover. I was
meaningful and the only.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if I needed to use the word meaningful or if he was absolutely it.
One player back.
So,
but Bruce was there as they recruited the whole roster.
But is that the problem? I mean, if I'm Keyshawn Murphy, no offense to Stephen Pearl, but did I think I was coming to play for Bruce Pearl, and now I'm playing for Stephen Pearl? And I like Stephen Pearl, but I thought I was coming to play for Hall of Fame coach, 2-time Final Four coach Bruce Pearl, not first-time coach learning the hard way how to be a head coach, Stephen Pearl. This is no shot at Stephen Pearl. Please understand what I'm saying here. I'm just saying any coach that's a head coach for the first time has to learn how to be a head coach. They all have. John Shire has been as successful as anybody we've ever seen handed a program like this.
As good as Kalen DeBoer is, those people that were there when he showed up came to play for Nick Saban's Alabama.
That's right. And some of them are like, no, I signed up for Nick Saban. I did not sign up for this Kalen DeBoer guy. I don't really know him. And none of these guys knew Stephen that well. I'm sure he recruited them. But then the flip side of that is Tahad Pettiford was talked back into school, and you got to assume he was talked back into school to play for Bruce Pearl again. And then on top of that, you probably had to pay him a little bit more, and this creates an issue. I could just see that whole situation being one of the issues in this team. And I'm not saying it's every new guy that came in, but there got to be some that came in and like, man, this is just not what I signed up for. And if you've got that little piece of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Regret is not really the word I'm looking for. Dissatisfaction, I guess, is a decent enough word here. If you've got that little piece of dissatisfaction in the back of your mind that I signed up for Bruce Pearl and that's not what I got, the minute things start to go bad, that dissatisfaction can speak louder and louder and louder in your mind and create bigger issues that infect the rest of the locker room when things start to go bad. When everything's going good, when you're winning at Florida, Nobody cares about that crap. Oh, we're down there winning at Florida. Who cares who I'm playing for? We just beat the best team in the SEC, one of the best in the nation.
I mean, you guys remember the Alligator or whatever the school's newspaper, and Slay kind of referenced this a minute ago with Todd Golden. And that went away so quickly. And if Todd Golden would have had a Stephen Pearl-like year last year and was struggling to get into the tournament, that would have come back.
Yeah.
It just
he might have gotten fired.
Yeah, he might have.
Might have gotten fired at the end of the season. So
yeah, with calls.
I don't know how, when Beard mentioned the timing, I think what Beard was saying was, it's kind of tough to take a program over that late and make it your own, which he's right about that. You weren't just going to come in if you're Stephen Pearl and be Bruce Pearl 2.0. You're going to do it the way you think it ought to be done. Now, a lot of that's going to look like Bruce Pearl because he's your father and you've coached for him for a long time. But I think even greater than that, how many of those guys on that roster was it an issue with? Maybe they didn't say it out loud, but in the back of their mind, it was an issue. And when you've got an issue in the back of your mind, when things get difficult, that issue is going to start speaking louder and louder to you.
Alexander Shinara brings you part of the show. We'll hear from Nate Oates on the importance of Noah Williamson and what he did on Saturday. And we'll also hear from the guy, Todd Golden, we were just talking about. Tell us about the great Alexander Shinara.
Yeah, Shinara.com, Shinara.com. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. That is the place you go when you're in need of any sort of legal assistance. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. One thing Shinara wanted to do was build a firm that could handle anything his community faced. His community, Birmingham, Alabama. It's where he was born, it's where he grew up, and it's where he wanted to build his home. Well, he's done that. 25 years, 150 attorneys, and more than 500 dedicated team members that have recovered more than $2 billion taking care of their community. By now, they handle personal injury claims. They've done that for a very long time, one of the top in the world. But you may not also know they handle claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
Here's Nate Oates on the importance of what Noah Williamson did this past weekend against Tennessee. Not a lot on the stat sheet, but a lot in Nate Oates' eyes.
Aiden led us in minutes with 33. Every time he came out, we put Noah in. He was able to get 2 old boards. The one led to a 3. If we don't have that 3 points, we don't win this game. The Mudita camaraderie, chemistry on this team's great. Noah's a big part of that. So, those 2 old boards went a long ways. And then his defense in there, we needed him to spell Aiden. I think Aiden was our MVP tonight. And if he had to play 40, he probably can't get it done. So the fact that Noah was able to give us 7 good minutes, and he was +1 in those 7 minutes. So in a game that you win by 2 and he wasn't in there kind of in those runs, it's hard to be positive in the plus minus, and he was.
Yeah, 7 minutes from Noah Williamson. Didn't do a lot, but enough. He's the guy that has to spell Aiden Sherrill so Aiden Sherrill can be the guy in these final important games in the basketball season.
Oh, look, and you just don't have a ton of 7-footers out there. I mean, this is a guy that is legitimate 7 feet, and you want nothing offensively, much like we've talked about Aiden Sherrill. You don't need anything offensive from him, but when he gets those 5, 6, 7 minutes off the bench, you need those quality minutes to spell him.
He was the guy that I thought was starting to grow, had a great game against Kentucky, and then was starting to grow into his role when they brought Bediako in, and that sort of ended his growth spurt right there. Maybe he can get that going back, Noah Williamson.
Maybe so. Again, whether it is a combo of these two or just one of these two, we talked about it last week. If either Bowen or Williamson, or a combo of Bowen and Williamson, could give you Mo Diabate, or a version of Mo Diabate. Doesn't even have to be the real Mo Diabate. What he gave you last year, that's all you need. That is all you need for Sherrill to come off the floor for, maybe a minute before each media timeout, 2 minutes before each media timeout, or if he gets in foul trouble and has to sit for a minute. If they can just give you a little Mo Diabate, that's really all you ask for them to do. Now, both those guys look like they were better players than that, and they just haven't panned out to be that just yet. But if that's what they can do for you, again, this is an Elite 8 type team. If you can get that, or if Sherrill just never has to leave the court, but you can't just think in the NCAA tournament Sherrill's going to be able to play 32 minutes every game.
John Calipari got a technical in the Florida game, and during that, we can't show you the video because it was part of the broadcast, but Calipari's getting a technical. He's working on the officials, and Todd Golden's at the box, and you can hear him screaming, "Get him off the court! Get him off the court!"
I loved it.
And then Calipari's like, "What did he say to me?" And eventually Golden said something, and they were able to tee him up as well. They cut down the nets in Gainesville. They're at least co-champions, but they'll easily be regular season champions.
That's surprising, by the way.
Something they haven't done since 2014. What's surprising?
Well, I mean, just because you're coming off winning, I mean, I guess it's fun for the guys that are involved, but you came off winning a national championship. And I just remember Dean Smith in Birmingham, they had just beaten Georgetown to go to a Final Four. And he's like, we're not cutting the nets here at the regional final. Like, this is not, we're going to cut the nets if we win a national championship. So I'm just a little surprised. Maybe it was for the fans, though.
Yeah, I don't think they've won a regular season. Brooks, I know you've worked on this, as you always do, man. 12 years has it been since they've won a regular season championship? Is that correct?
Correct. Billy Donovan was his next to last year was the last time they won a regular season
Wow, that's
title.
pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that. Oh, there you go. I saw that graphic earlier.
Yeah.
I should have read it a little bit closer, obviously.
Yeah, so there's one of Brooks's great graphics he put out there. Florida wins it, but you go all the way back to Billy Donovan's time to find them winning an SEC regular season championship. That's why they cut down the net. And for Todd Golden, they're not done yet. He's still thinking about a 1 seed.
We're playing really good basketball right now. I think we're getting contributions from a number of guys. I think that's probably allowed us to become an even better team. And when we're able to get rest for our starters and those guys can come in and keep the score going the right direction, it's huge for us. And against a lot of these teams that we play, they're really talented, but they don't have the depth that we do. And we're able to wear teams down that way. I told the guys, we're playing to become the best seed possible. Because of the way we played in the month of February, we've opened up a lot of opportunities for ourselves down the stretch, and if we take care of business and play really well, there's not a seed out there that is unattainable for us. And obviously there's other teams competing for it, but, we have a lot that's under our control down the stretch here.
Do you think they can get to a 1?
I think they can. I mean, you can't deny 9 straight wins the way they completely curb-stomped Arkansas. I'm just getting a feel this is back to Billy Donovan when they won back-to-back national championships. I know there's a lot of people still doubting them. I don't know why. I guess it is the backcourt with Boogie Flan and Xavier Lee, but those guys are playing better basketball. By far, best front court in college basketball. The backcourt is rounding into shape. You've got a coach that obviously knows what he's doing. They're playing with another level of confidence right now. I mean, coming off shooting 57% against that Arkansas team. I mean, I don't know how you guys would do it, but if we were doing a snake draft right now, I might take Florida at number 1 to win it all.
Number 1 over Arizona. Now, Michigan had a key injury. It's their backup point guard.
Yeah, he's their top 3-point shooter, though, L.J. Kaysen.
So that may affect you there, but you would take them over Arizona, huh?
I think I would. Now, Arizona, a solid 7.5-point favorite tonight over Iowa State.
Who's a pretty dang good team.
Yeah, a really good team. But I think I would take Florida right now.
In Ken Pom and Torvik, which I don't know there's another analytics site, but the ones I hear mentioned most by coaches are Ken Pom and Torvik and the net. And all of those, Florida is number 4. Yeah. So if you want to look at the major analytics sites and the very site that the NCAA puts out as their analytics site, the net, Florida is a 1 seed.
They're trending in a very good direction. And speaking of trending in not a good direction, Joe Lunardi has his updated bracket out right now. And for the first time, Auburn is out. They're now the first team out of the tournament. That's the latest Lunardi bracket. You guys were talking earlier that how are they still in there? Lunardi updating it today, and there they are out of the tournament. First 4 out is Auburn.
So what does a split do? Let's just say they beat LSU and they lose to Alabama.
I was about to say, give me the split.
They're still out, right?
I don't think beating LSU does anything for you. That's a quad 2 home win for you, which is not going to help you.
And at that point, you probably have to win 2 in Nashville?
I don't know. At that point, you're also looking that Santa Clara, Ohio State, New Mexico, and Indiana probably have to do something for you to jump back over.
Now, the good news is Indiana, again, has lost 4 consecutive. A lot of these teams, and we seem like it becomes Groundhog Day at this time every year when we talk about, these teams are just killing themselves by not winning games down the stretch.
The highest Auburn could go is a 9 seed, Lance. So that means they're locked into playing Thursday night. Which means they're going to play somebody from this group, Ole Miss.
Wednesday. right?
Excuse me, Wednesday. I apologize. Yes. Means they're going to play somebody from this group. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, LSU, South Carolina. That win does you nothing.
Yeah.
You're supposed to win that game. That does you absolutely nothing.
Same way with LSU in the regular season.
That's right. So then you advance on and you get a team like this. It's going to be one of these teams. I'm about to name a bunch of them, but only 4 of these teams will be playing on that Thursday. Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Vandy, Texas A&M, Texas, Georgia, depending on how all this shakes out. Tennessee would probably, I'd have to look at the net, probably be the one that'd help you the most. So I think if you're Auburn at this point, you probably just got to hope you win your first round game and you get Tennessee in that second game, because you've got to have quality wins at this point.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you hope you beat LSU. I mean, that's step one, and there is nothing guaranteed about that game with the way this Auburn team is playing right now.
So there's Lenardi's latest, and one more time, Forrester, so we don't just miss everything there. Alabama, as you were pointing out earlier, Brown, 13th now. That's their highest. That's the highest 4 seed. So they're that close with Kansas and Nebraska. They are flipping to a 3 seed. So Alabama is the highest rated 4 seed.
What a West region with those top 4, though. I mean, just because you guys have seen it, like Arizona at their best, they seem unbeatable. Illinois at their best, I mean.
Well, Alabama's played both of them.
Yeah. They're a 1 seed. I mean, Kansas
is a bit schizophrenic, but at their best, they've beaten Arizona, Lance. So we've seen them at their best, right?
I mean, that might be the strongest 4.
Yeah. Palm had Alabama
probably East.
Palm had Alabama as a 3 seed, so that shows you where Alabama is on the border of the 3 with Lenardi, at the 3 with Jerry Palm. So that's kind of the neighborhood Alabama's living in.
Damn, we never see. I know they lost this weekend again, and I thought their losing was done in the regular season. But Gonzaga, a 4 seed.
I know.
When's the last time we saw them that far down?
And they got that little arrow next to them that's going down.
Yeah. By the way, 15. So only Virginia, who got waxed by Duke in Cameron, is Virginia's only thing keeping them from dropping down to a whole host of SEC teams sitting on the 5 line in Arkansas, Tennessee, Vandy, and St. John's. So that's Lenardi's latest, and he dials it in as we get closer and closer to the NCAA tournament. All right, trash coming up on the other side. Tell us about our friends at Gutter Cap. LT, great work there from C-Stu and his crew.
Yeah, cap it, don't snap it. You don't want to get on the roof. You slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Make the phone call that I made years ago, 205-823-2212. Chris Stewart will come out, give you an absolutely free estimate. They will clean the gutters one final time, and then they will put that gutter cap system on top of the gutters. It will keep the gutters clean and free-flowing. The only thing getting in is the rainwater. Again, cap it, don't snap it, 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
And it's almost April, almost time to go racing again as we flip the calendar to March. It's a great time to remind you to buy your tickets at the TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. The fastest, unpredictable racing that you'll get right there on the track at Talladega, and they've been doing this for a long time at Talladega since back in the 1960s, and it's always been unpredictable, but now more than ever, and the Jack Links 500, the spring race, is the time to be there. The whole racing weekend, including a doubleheader race on Saturday, camping available for you, but buy your tickets now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Upgrade to the garage experience and get that access into the NASCAR Cup Team garages. Camping's available, all sorts of wonderful competition going on at Talladega all weekend long. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality, legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Got a little hot beef going on we're about to show you. As soon as Forrester gives me the thumbs up and lets me know he's ready. I'll tell you first, though, there's no beef involved, but it's hot, and it's spicy, and it's good down at Champy's Chicken. This is their chicken, man. Brined overnight, cooked to order. It is just a great hot meal for you, and it's cooked to order, so it comes out piping hot. I love the two big breasts, the in-house made sides. Save that in-house made dessert, the caramel cake. And then you got a great meal there. Lunch, dinner, happy hour. You can get it to go for office meetings, to watch the games, the tournament at home. Sterling's been doing it for over a decade at that same location that he's curated into a great, wonderful spot to enjoy a lunch with family, friends, and meetings. I've seen meetings going on in there as well. All the meetings, the big, beautiful meetings going on in there at Champy's world-famous fried chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Stop by and see Sterling and the crew. Over the weekend, Bruce Pearl, on the Turner TNT coverage, went on a rant about if Miami of Ohio doesn't win their tournament, that they are not a team that should get an at-large bid. And then quickly, a lot of the fans started, as they sent out that on their social media, saying, who's on the bubble that would hurt? Who's he fighting for here? Well, Miami of Ohio's athletic director has gotten into the mix here in the last couple hours, and Brooks and Forrester pointing out, this is the first I've seen it. David Saylor is the Miami of Ohio athletic director. At Coach Bruce Pearl, you are flat out wrong about Miami of Ohio basketball when you say we would finish last in the Big East. The disrespect is awful, and you should not be near a TV studio covering this sport when you show your true colors. Even slipped in a "we" when talking about Auburn. Nice work! !
Well, I mean, he is going to be heavily invested, and people are going to, I mean, Bruce Pearl, people believe he's Auburn. He is, right?
Through and through. And by the way, his son's the head coach.
And by the way, Barkley does it too, and nobody has a problem with it. Right? And Bruce should be able to have his opinion.
Here would be my problem if I am Miami of Ohio's athletic director. Where did Bruce come from? Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, Bruce, you take him back to late 90s, mid-90s, whenever that was. If he was sitting there undefeated like Miami of Ohio in that Horizon Conference back then, sitting at 16-0 in conference, 29-0 overall, do you think Bruce Pearl would be like, even if we lose a game, we deserve to be in?
Yes. If Bruce Pearl were the head coach of Miami Ohio basketball, is basically what you're saying this year. He would be campaigning for it. Yes.
As we talk about expanding this tournament, the only thing I would say is if Miami of Ohio ends up being 31-1 or 32-1 and they don't get in, what are we doing playing the regular season for these guys?
Yeah, exactly. It cracks me up, too, like people getting upset at Bruce Pearl using "we" when talking about Auburn, as if he didn't use "we." The guy that was the coach of this team last year that built this team and handed it off to his son before the season started. But he doesn't say "we," so I don't know who he's really pulling for. Like, does anybody watch Bruce Pearl and not think he's living and dying with every Auburn basket, whether he says "we" or not? Like, I mean, I think the AD needs to step down for that.
Yeah, I disagree with you, Lance. I agree with Bruce. If this team doesn't win its tournament, where are they in the KenPom and stuff? They don't deserve to be in.
Yeah, but Auburn doesn't. I mean,
no, it's not an Auburn discussion.
No, but I was
going to
ask you guys.
I don't have them in the tournament if they lose because they don't play the same schedules.
Well, they don't play the same schedule, but when you win 99% of your games and you lose one, I mean, what is it even worth to play 35 games if you have to go a perfect 35-0 to get in?
They don't. They don't have to go a perfect 35-0. They got to go 3-0 this week.
So why even play the regular season again?
To make money, to stay warm. I mean, it's the same reason Andy and UAB plays.
But I mean,
they're not getting in.
But I would much rather see a Miami of Ohio with one loss than a 16-15 Auburn team.
I'm 100% with you on that one.
But you're going back to Auburn there. But compared to the best 64 teams,
you have to compare it to all the bubble teams. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's not just Auburn. Take Auburn out of it. Give me the other bubble team. Who was Lenardi's
Indiana's the last one.
I'd rather see Miami Ohio than Indiana.
Yeah, I would not. I mean, that's penalizing teams that are playing who would be
but you're not winning
35-0.
You're not winning those games.
But you'd be 35-0 with Indiana's schedule.
Well,
with Miami of Ohio's schedule.
But it's apples and oranges because you're talking about Miami that doesn't have any money and they can't afford a roster. I mean,
So why do they get a berth? You don't want the football team in the playoffs. You don't want James Madison in the playoffs.
You're right about that.
Why do you want Miami of Ohio watering down this basketball tournament?
It's not watering it down. First of all, we got 68 teams, and Indiana's going to be team 68 if they're in. So I don't think it's watering it down. Half of them are going to lose the first round, and Indiana's probably going to be in that.
Yeah, I kind of hope they lose a game just to put the committee, put them in a situation where you got to make that decision.
Yeah,
because I think it will be fascinating. But I would put them in, and I don't think they're good.
52. You ask? Oh, that's in the net. The 52 is where they are in the net. I'll just use that because it's what the NCAA uses. 52 in the net. Which, in case you're wondering what neighborhood that puts you in, Missouri is 53.
Where's Indiana?
41.
41.
Yeah,
wow.
So that tells you.
Wow, Missouri's 53?
Yeah, Missouri's 53 in
the net.
Easily
in the tournament, by the way.
Yeah.
Missouri.
Well, I mean, Missouri is 6-2 in their last 8, and when you look at like resumes, I mean, Missouri is playing much better basketball, and their record not even close to what, if I'm going back to Auburn, another bubble team.
That's right. But Missouri's Auburn can't see Missouri anymore.
But most of the teams we talk about on the bubble are not going to do anything at all once they get to the tournament. And my thing is, hey, if you've lost 7 of 8 or 9 of 10 and you've got a team that has gone 31-1, I would rather see the 31-1.
Which is crazy because Auburn's 38th in the net. You say they can't even see Missouri, and I get what you're saying there, but Missouri's 53, Auburn's 38.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Tyler, give me cut 7 before we get to trash. Kevin Willard used to work with Rick Pitino. I believe it was in Kentucky when I was there.
They worked together, Boston, and then he followed him to Louisville and then to Iona. So he worked with him for 13 years.
So he was not on the Kentucky staff with him.
No.
Kevin Willard with him a long time. Kevin Willard now coaches Villanova. Am I correct about that? St. John's beat him this past weekend. And then Kevin Willard gets asked what it was like working with Rick Pitino back in the day. And I think they're still really good friends, but.
I'm not bullshitting. I don't have hair myself. I had a full set of hair when I started working for him. Like, it's the most miserable experience in life. Like, you fear for your life every day. And everyone laughs when I say that, but no, you think you're going to get fired, and it's miserable. As he's gotten older, he's probably become more of a cranky old bitch than he was when I worked for him. But you literally fear for your life. Like, you walk in, he walks into the facility, and he's walking in at 6:30, and you've been there since 5:30 thinking you have everything right. And he comes and he asks you the one question that you don't know. And it's like, he's that intense. He always has been. He's got the most energy of any coach I've ever been around. I think that's why he's got 900 wins and national championships, because he does it better and more intense than anybody.
When I initially heard it the first 20 seconds, I was like, damn, he's going after him. And then you could kind of tell it was the ultimate backhanded compliment, I guess.
Do you think Rick takes it that way?
You hear a lot of the same things about Nick Saban.
Oh,
though, right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, was it Jeff Stoutland that was like, I can't coach for this guy anymore? Who was it?
I can't remember. I don't remember.
It was an old Philadelphia Eagles coach.
Yeah.
And I think we actually had him on the show, but he was like, it was just miserable. I could not work for him anymore.
Jimbo Fisher, I think, was calling Brownie and me in our AM 690 days when they were at LSU, saying, hey, help me get the UAB job. My wife and I want out of here. I think that was the coach.
I remember one time Jimbo Fisher was scheduled to be on with Herb. I can tell you when it was. It was right after they won. No. Let me back up. He did come on right after they won the national championship.
At LSU.
At LSU. But this was the national championship year. They were playing a road game, as memory serves. It was in Oxford. And Jimbo had agreed to come on. He told Herb he had come on the Friday before the game, but he had to do it before a mandatory meeting. And he told Herb, he goes, you've got to get me off at this time, because if I don't make that meeting on time, I'll get fired. And Herb laughed. He's like, Herb, I am not kidding. He will fire me. This is your offensive coordinator. Yeah, I mean, team that was about to win the national championship.
But I guarantee you those guys would tell you, I'm not the coach I am today without that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and the problem is now, like, I just wonder where this is going to go. When you've got players that are like, I don't want to play, I'm going to go sit in the crowd. What about assistants moving forward?
A+ brings us trash today. Brownie, tell us about the great folks that changed your trashy bathroom and house into something good.
I know you were making a segue. It wasn't that bad. When we bought our house, it was a bathroom that was just outdated. Scott showing you pictures, definitely not trashy. But a little bit outdated and not exactly what we wanted. We wanted the darker colors, not the lighter color scheme. So my wife, Jennifer, scoured the internet looking for the right person to update our master bath. And Brad Bell was the name inevitably she came back to time and time again. So she had talked to contractors, people that had used contractors, read a bunch of reviews, and it was Brad Bell. That was the name that kept coming back. So we had Brad out to look at the job. First thing he asked us is, what do you guys want? He didn't come out selling some sort of pre-planned deal so he could get in and out of there, make a check. He wanted it done to our specifications. I am so glad we used him. His crews were clean. They were courteous. They were on time every day. And at the end of every day, they brought us in and said, here's what we've done. Does this meet your expectations? And every day it did. What Brad specializes in is master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closet remodels. Not to say it's all he does, but it is definitely a specialty. That's important because you spend a lot of time in those rooms, and you'll make some of your money back when you sell those rooms, right? When you sell your house with those rooms in them, updated like that. So if you want to see more, either go to alabamabathremodels.com, alabamabathremodels.com, or give Brad a call, 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758 or alabamabathremodels.com.
Tell me about the whistles. The whistles got woo. When you want to woo woo, it's that woo woo. You know what I'm saying?
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light. Now, I love a milkshake.
Do too.
And I can go probably 10, 15 different varieties, and I'm like, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm willing to give them a shot.
How about this one? Ohio's Great Wolf Lodge has officially laid out their weirdest flavor. The resort is serving a limited-time ranch milkshake. It's exactly what it sounds like, vanilla ice cream blended with real ranch dressing. Now, the shake doesn't stop there. It's topped with crispy chicken, carrots, celery, whipped cream, and finished with a sweet, salty lime rim. The company says it's designed to be sipped or even used as a dip. Now, the unusual dessert rolling out nationwide from March 5th to March 20th. Now, the drink has already sparked reactions online thanks to the mix of sweet and savory flavors.
I could use it as a dip. I mean, I would give it a try as a dip if I'm raking celery or
French fries,
a French fry or a crouton or something through it. I'd give that a shot.
Yeah, like I'll dip my French fries in my vanilla milkshake.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'll also dip French fries in ranch.
Yeah. So you're cutting out the middleman here.
But as far as putting a straw in this and trying to drink it, no,
Negative.
thank you.
No, I'm with Jim. No, thank you.
I'd give it a try, but just for content.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, one sip maybe, and probably spitting it out.
Let me ask you this. Let's assume you've got a favorite ice cream parlor, whatever, store, and they've got your favorite flavor. Do you get that in milkshake or do you get it in cone? What's your go-to?
Normally cone. I never think about it to do a milkshake.
Cone or a cup, not in a milkshake.
See, a lot of times
I always go milkshake.
I'm with Tyler.
Wow.
Like, I'll try them, and if I like it, the next time I'm in there, I'll just get a milkshake every time after that. I prefer a milkshake over an ice cream cone.
Yeah, not me. I enjoy the ice cream.
Yeah, my two, well, it used to be 3 go-to milkshakes. Pops used to have...
Yeah, Pops and Heflin, they closed. Pops Charburgers.
A cherry milkshake, and they had a butterscotch milkshake.
Butterscotch was fantastic.
Both great.
Yep.
Chick-fil-A's peach milkshake.
It's really, really good in season.
And then Hamburger Heaven's eggnog.
Which I've still never had.
So good. I've had so many people who are like, I've never had eggnog, and then they taste the milkshake, and they're like, my God.
Yeah.
You've had it, hadn't you?
Oh, 100%. I love getting the black and white at Hamburger Heaven. I could not.
Is that just chocolate and vanilla?
Yeah, it's a chocolate vanilla mix. It sort of lightens the chocolate a little bit. And I had one on Saturday, minus the straw, so I had to do it with a spoon as I was coming from my dental surgery. That was sort of my lunch. And she's like, what do you want? And I said, run by and get me the largest milkshake they will sell you. And
how big was that?
They brought me back a large
like
Coke.
The 32 ounce.
She told them, and I don't know if they sell them that way, but she says, pay whatever you can. Just do this in this Hamburger Heaven. They'll do whatever you want for you. Great sponsor and delicious.
That used to be one of my go-tos for a hangover. I literally had one hangover, I think, all of 2025, which is pretty insane. But I would get a really good milkshake, sometimes like a strawberry milkshake. Get a little fruity.
Yeah, I like a strawberry milkshake. I think that's my wife's go-to, in fact, if she gets one, which she loves strawberry ice cream, strawberry milkshake.
Authorities have found a Florida man who went missing on Valentine's Day, shoulder deep in muck. Authorities have likened to quicksand. First responders located Andrew Giddens February 26th alive at the Vulcan Materials Company in Melrose, Florida, but caught in a thick substance that made it impossible for him to move. Now, Giddens' relatives, who reported him missing, explained to police he had become depressed in the wake of a recent breakup. They said the sheriff's office said in a statement that Giddens, 36, who lives in Jacksonville, was stuck up to his shoulders in mud in a borrow pit at the sand plant site. Giddens spoke to first responders and told him he hadn't consumed any food or water in days. Officers looking for the missing man found his car near the sand plant on Monday, February 23rd. Searchers then fanned out, combing the industrial site in search of the missing man. Workers spent 3 hours freeing Giddens from the muck. Once freed, rushed to the hospital where doctors expect him to make a full recovery. Now, Giddens had sunk below the level of grass surrounding the borrow pit, making him nearly impossible to be seen by anyone who wasn't close by. Fire department said on Facebook that Giddens had been stuck in the mud for several days without food or water. While the area faced freezing temperatures, I would assume that he would stay warm in that, though. The rescuers had to use ropes, ladders, pallets, wooden boards, and a number of different tools to remove him from the mud.
I don't know here.
You think he went in
February 14th?
Not wanting to come out. And then once he got in, he was like...
I don't know. February 14th, though. He went missing on Valentine's Day. And the day of recovery was when?
26th.
12 days he was in that and survived?
Well, it doesn't say he was in there for 12 days.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't missing on Valentine's Day.
I don't buy that he was in there for 12 days. I guess that's what I'm saying. And the story did not say that, but it kind of indicates
Yeah, just to look. He was found on February 26th. They found his car on the 23rd. He did go missing on Valentine's Day.
I'd like to know.
He could have been holed up in a hotel for about a week.
I'm saying there's pieces of the timeline I think investigators are going to have to comb through here.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's missing, but he's on the down low, and then he does this to try to win over the hearts of the person that he is broken by not having anymore.
Yeah. This is one of the stupidest stories of the year, and probably one of the reasons we have some plane rage. But a TikToker ran a 5K while on an 11-hour flight, but just about everyone is saying the same thing in response to the viral video. Why? Now, when you're serious about your marathon, sticking to a rigorous training schedule is vital no matter the weather, your energy levels, or even if you're 30,000 feet off the ground. At least that's the logic the TikToker Domstra appears to live by. They refuse to let an 11-hour flight get in the way of the physical activity rather than using the bathroom for, regular bathroom activities. He locked the door and stayed in there for an entire hour. What was he doing? Running. Rather than using for the bathroom for the normal stuff, he set up a camera, filmed an hour-long bathroom break while they were on the long flight. Instead of just moving in circles, he was stepping up and down on the toilet over and over again. Appeared to keep it going for 59 minutes and 32 seconds in total. He moved a 3.4 miles without leaving the bathroom. This effort has raked in a whopping 4.4 million views on X and 1.4 million views on TikTok.
Banned from flying. On my airline, at least.
I'm with you, Dunaway.
Scott put in the chat, island.
I'm not going to I don't know. I could be convinced.
Well, here's the thing.
How selfish.
First of all, that bathroom looks bigger than most on planes. I can barely fit in a plane bathroom.
I'm with you. They're tough.
But I am as quick as I can to get in and get out because, now nobody wants to back up. You can't have a line at the front of the plane. It's the back of the plane. And, other people need to go to the freaking bathroom.
I know. This is so selfish. And I'm with Dunaway. I'd ban him for life if I'm...
I'd shoot him out of the plane if you could.
That's what Scott says.
You're going to jettison him?
Yes. Like fly him over the island and drop him off?
Drop him out of a cargo hold?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. TikTok is bullshitting us about, we can't advertise certain stuff on TikTok.
Right.
Correct.
But you got dumb dicks like this that get millions of views and they allow this.
That is correct.
This is on the low end of dumb dickery. There's been, actual murders and, life-threatening challenges.
But it is crazy. The challenges they allow people to do on TikTok, and we can't advertise certain people.
Yeah. No. I'm with you on that.
So stupid. Okay, you're going to have to walk me through this one, too. I've read it, but I didn't really understand how these go together and how he separated these. But a Florida man facing retail theft charges after local authorities allege that he stole thousands of dollars worth of trading cards from multiple Target stores using 99-cent taco seasoning packets.
So he's going to self-checkout, and he's scanning the old El Paso taco seasoning mix, but then putting Pokemon cards in the bag and then flipping the Pokemon cards.
Oh, okay, so he's opening the taco seasoning mix bag in the store, putting Pokemon cards inside the bag, and then just scanning the bag.
Or just scanning the taco bags and then
then
leaving the taco bags.
Gotcha. Put them in the store to the bag. Jeez, Ryan. The store bag to leave the store with.
So
gotcha. Okay.
This is Keith Wallace, 39 years old, arrested after he allegedly engaged in an organized retail fraud at multiple Target locations from Miami to Orlando. He's been charged with counts of felony organized retail theft, 3 counts of felony dealing in stolen property, and 1 count of felony money laundering. Wallace is accused of committing 75 thefts at multiple Target locations between July of 2025 and this month, February of 2026. They are saying a loss of over $10,000. He has generated almost $40,000 in revenue, and he faces up to 90 years in prison if convicted on all counts. I hate the self-checkout. I do think you should be given a discount if you're doing the self-checkout because they're obviously saving manpower by you doing this. Brown gave me a heads up. There is a local grocery store that is going out of business out by us, and it's 30 to 40% off right now. I went in there and destroyed the place because it was 30, 40% off of wine, sunblock, all these batteries. Yeah, really, things that you don't necessarily need, but you can get them in bulk if you're saving 30 or 40%. And then I had 2 carts, and they wanted me to do a self-checkout.
You got 2 carts full
I got
of stuff
2
there?
carts.
A buddy of mine texted me out of the blue, says, tell LT the such and such next to his house is going out of business. Everything's 40% off, including wine. Because I just left there. There's a great selection, so I just forwarded it on to LT, not knowing what he would do.
So where is this? I need to go grocery
I'll
shopping
tell you after.
today.
We're not going to give them a plug. I
Yeah.
can't believe they're going out of business, but yeah,
Been there
it's up for
forever.
them.
Been there
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's almost. I went in, and I asked the girl. And by the way, somebody did come over to check me out. They were like, "Okay, 2 carts, too
2
much."
carts is probably a little much for self-checkout.
But I asked the girl, and she was like, "Yeah, we started the clearance on Wednesday, and they're almost clear."
Well, I might be just getting the bottom of the barrel stuff. Then.
That's true, yes. The stuff
Air
nobody wanted.
filters,
Yeah.
Stuffed
lighters.
olives.
I mean,
Stuffed olives.
I got a lot of stuff. I did. That's all I got.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Heupel Services. Bud Light brings you trash, but Heupel can make sure that your house is staying up to date when it's heating and cooling time. And boy, we've been flipping back and forth all week long, haven't we?
Yeah, I checked the 10-day, and it looks like we're going to be, knocking on the door of 80.
That's
a couple
what I
of these
want to
days.
hear. Welcome to March.
I
tomorrow.
asked you if we were going to get that cold snap. We might get it in later March. We ain't getting it over the next 10 days. At least that's what it looks like. So you need to make sure the weather, that you're keeping up with the changing weather. Make sure the cooling, if you have any issues in your home or business, the AC is ready to take this on. Whether it is the plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there awaiting your call. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any and all these issues. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
By the way, Duke and NC State tonight. Will Wade trying to get a monumental win, 6 o'clock ESPN. And then number 4, Iowa State, number 2, Arizona, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Miami of Ohio trailed with 6 minutes to go, and they get a game-winning bucket late to survive. I think it was Western Michigan this weekend.
It was.
So they barely beat Western Michigan this weekend after trailing, I think, double digits with 6:50 to go.
You can feel this coming. They're going to get upset in that conference tournament.
Don't you kind of
feel it coming?
I don't want them to be left out, but I kind of want the committee to have to make
a
the
tough decision. Yeah, because that's just going to be salt in the wounds to an Auburn or an Indiana or somebody like that gets left out from Miami, Ohio. I mean, it's going to be controversial, but don't you think, Dunaway, you can feel this coming, them getting upset in the conference tournament?
They get Toledo next. Yeah, I mean, a lot of their games have been overtime wins and stuff. Toledo and then the tournament, I think, is who they have left. And Toledo's pretty good, if I remember correctly. Or maybe that's in their tournament. I don't know. But Miami of Ohio almost beat again. And then the streak we've talked about forever with Andy Kennedy and UAB continued yesterday. They lose to North Texas at home. They are now 1-7 at home in conference play, 8-0 on the road. They're back on the road this week.
And I saw some of Andy's postgame. He is so frustrated by this team. As he pointed out, in the history of UAB basketball, they'd never had a losing home record, and now they're going to do that.
It's just wild that you can win these games on the road and you can't win any games at home.
It doesn't make any sense. I cannot figure it out, but he is so frustrated with his team. But as Andy said, good news, all the important games now are away from Birmingham, so maybe we can win those. But boy, he's frustrated.
Actually, the conference tournament in Birmingham,
well, away from
Bartow Arena. Yeah. Troy won the Sun Belt over the weekend as they beat Louisiana Monroe, and then Brian Hodgson's USF team won the regular season American Championship, same league the UAB's in. He won his last regular season conference championship at Arkansas State. Now he's done it at USF. It'll be interesting to see if he's at USF for his second year or if he's got an SEC job.
This is expected to be an extremely active coaching carousel in college basketball.
And some great jobs opening up. And I would think that he is going to be very much at the top of a lot of lists.
Yeah.
We talked about a few of those last week, including possibly LSU that he'd be in the mix for, possibly Syracuse, possibly... Who was another one we mentioned last week? It was a Northeastern school. Villanova's not coming over.
LSU makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So does Syracuse. That's got a great tradition.
Oh, if you can get that job, sure.
All right, so we've got the next reel with Lance and Tyler talking entertainment and a lot of stuff. They've got that recording today. There's the logo. You will see it on the platform when Tyler drops it out after some editing, post-production. Is that what you call it in the movie industry?
That is what they say in the biz.
A little post-production. Look forward to that. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.